I'm trying to stream at 1080p now. Fuck. No, please no. Come on. There we go. Fucking hold on. I'm just trying to start up Risk of Rain. Okay. I don't know how much is gonna eat away at my fucking RAM. We'll see. Let's see. Okay. What am I doing? Oh yeah, Brandon FM video. This was something that was released like 3 weeks ago, and I was meaning to get around to watching it. I know of Brandon FM. I don't hate him. I think his videos are fine, if a little pretentious. His Hypnotist Sappho video was weird as shit. I don't know why you would interview a zoophilic pedophile who's confirmed to have groomed multiple minors and like try to humanize them. That was like really fucking weird. And retarded. Who's Brandon FM? He's like a VR chat sort of like documentarian kind of guy. He's done videos like exposing predators or like whatever the fuck in the VR chat scene. But there's like a 2-hour long like fucking hit piece on him made by some random guy named K3. He has 151 subs and the video has 262 views. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Yeah, what's up, Kai Rise? Egatones. Egg toast, yo. I kind of figured like when I started when I started back streaming, like it's the viewership was gonna do. I prefer lower viewerships, honestly. It's like more fucking chill. Yeah. Was my game loaded now? Can I stop being homosexual? Whatever. Start the video. Alright, what's the fucking disclaimer? Do not harass anyone talked about in this video. This video talks about dark topics, heavy topics. Please keep it civil in the comments. All things alleged in this video are allegations for when I talk about actions that Brandon FM has potentially done, and both for when Brandon FM is criticizing VR chat or certain people within VR chat itself. This also does not mean it's correct or has been proven in court. Do you need a disclaimer for that? Like, obviously everything is an allegation. Okay, bruh. Hold on, is it loaded? It's not loaded. Shit. Fuck. Dude, I'm hoping this fucking shit doesn't kill my RAM. Copyright? Okay, whatever.
The word unveiled has a lot of meanings, but I'm focusing on the synonyms of it, which are bring out, reveal, and uncover. And that is my plan to do with Brandon FM today. Now you might ask yourself, why? Why make a video on...
Wait, what happened? VR chat drama, finally some good fucking slop. I don't know if this video is good or not. It genuinely, it's been out for 3 weeks. It only has 200 views, and there's like, what, are there even any comments? Like, I haven't heard anybody talk about this video. So I'm like, fuck it, dude.
Brandon FM, somebody who's doing good with his investigations and videos. Well, when you look past all of his videos, his editing, and everything else, you'll start to see a pattern of behavior, such as being unprofessional, potentially letting people get away, and...
Well, I mean, potentially letting people get away. People are always going to get away. Like, when it comes to, like, internet vigilantism, like, there are going to be people that are going to get away, right? The thing I think a lot of people should be focusing on is, I mean, because here's the thing. Cops can't constantly do stings. And I think it's just important to raise awareness. I think that should just be the goal, is to raise awareness. Because when it comes to like VR chat bullshit, like these guys are going to get away, like a lot of the times. Just collect all the damning evidence, send it to the police, and cross your fingers and hope something happens, but it tends to not happen. Obviously, like, IRL catches are different. Those people should be going to jail. You should be prioritizing those guys going to jail if you're doing like an IRL confrontation, but like exposing guys online, it should just be like, at the very least, like exposure or whatever. Like, I don't know, because even that's not enough. It's weird, but yeah. False accusations. Okay, this is, I have not heard this.
The accusing people, etc., etc.
Did I see the commentary school shooter pipeline video? I that was going to be this stream until I skimmed it and I noticed that he's putting like lolicon foot fetish content in the video, and I'm like, no, I'm not watching that. I'm not watching that. This guy's really fucking weird, and it's like very moral faggy and boring, so I skipped it.
To understand what I'm trying to say. The main reason I want to actually do this video is because I don't hate Brandon FM. I don't hate Brandon. I think he's a good YouTuber who is trying to do the right thing. But when I see skeletons that are buried underground and you...
What is this? Fuck! What is this? Casey, don't know if you've seen the news, but Cyfox and F. Paul have been removed from the Discord team. I see this as a massive win. Great job with the documentary. Excited to see what's next. I think that's the VR chat. He did a video exposing like VR chat devs. But okay.
Refuse to unbury them and talk about them. You make me question you a bit. You make me wonder, why are you hiding this stuff? And if you don't eventually talk about them, they could come back to haunt you.
Yeah, this
and
fucking
that's something I don't
show.
want Brandon to do. He's got a lot of promise, and I see it in him, but he needs to talk about this stuff and face the truth to be unveiled. I don't want this video to be a rallying cry to cancel Brandon or push him off the internet. No, I don't think he deserves to have that happen to him at all. I actually want him to improve and continue making great videos like he has in the past. However, I do want him to talk about this stuff, either debunking it or admitting to it. It's something I think he needs to learn to continue making even greater strides in the future. It's something I've never seen him do, and it's something that I know will come back to bite him in the ass. I've seen it before. It's a long and painful road if you choose to ignore your problems, and I don't want Brandon to fall down that path. I want him to be better. Now, for all the stuff I'm
actually a little curious, because this video did come out a while ago, and like, even though it has low viewership, I'm gonna see if Brandon actually responded. Hold on real quick.
Talk about today. They are alleged. For the people that weren't watching the intro, it's alleged. Nothing has been proven in court to be true or even factually correct. This goes for both Brandon FM and VR Chat. Now, neither of them have been to court going up against each other yet. You see, I have this weird suspicious feeling that the video Brandon's going to make next, which I will talk about at the very end of the video, is going to cause a big problem for VR Chat, and they're going to see it as some illegal action.
What? Wait, hold on. Sorry, I got distracted. Hold on, what?
That the video Brandon's going to make next, which I will talk about at the very end of the video, is going to cause a big problem for VR Chat, and they're going to see it as some illegal action. Now, for my sake, because one, I don't want to get sued, and two, I can actually kind of foresee this a little bit. I don't know why, but I kind of can. Everything is alleged and has not been proven in court at all. Everything being said by Brandon FM is alleged. Everything being alleged towards VR Chat is also alleged. Nothing is true as of now. Alright, with that out of the way from you understanding my stance on Brandon, and hopefully covering my ass from any future legal problems, let's talk about Brandon FM. Hold on, I can hear some of you say, who is Brandon FM? For the people who are outside of the VR Chat community...
There you go, save bag. We're gonna get a full-on description now. Yeah, we get it. It's alleged. Yeah, like with all the fucking disclaimers, dude. Jesus.
Outside of just this whole thing in general.
So far, I haven't seen. Yeah, Brandon hasn't said anything about this like anywhere.
Tell you. However, I'm going to make this super short because originally I actually had a different video with Brandon FM and a different person that I will be talking about in this video and just a different video in general.
The fucking
I tried making a timeline in that video for Brandon, but I kind of realized it was too bloated and was kind of a mess. So I'm going to condense it down to a very small portion of it.
Don't tell me what you're going to do. Just do it.
The most important details that I think are important.
Just do it.
So let me do it really quickly. Brandon FM started around as a gaming channel turned to a documentary channel around 2021. This time he actually released his first documentary on VR Chat, one of his most well-known documentaries that he's made to date, at least in my opinion. After that big VR Chat video, he actually made some more VR Chat documentary videos, then taking a break from it, making different documentaries on different subjects, coming back to it, and then moving on again, then coming back one last time until the near future that I suspect he'll make another video on VR Chat, causing this whole big explosion. At least that's my theory. Okay. Okay, I think you get the idea. I hope it wasn't too fast. But trust me when I say this, if I made that timeline, this video would be way longer and would be more bloated than it needs to be.
Dude, I'm starting to see the fucking problems, dude. Dude, just make the video. Just make the video.
But I also just wanted to go into the topics immediately. Of course, I will tell you the context to fill in the gaps of the arguments I'm going to make. Okay, let's start with the small stuff. Let's start with
unprofessionalism.
Okay, like I said at the beginning of the section, it'll be small. However, I believe this is very important to cover, is unprofessionalism. The topics that he is covering require you to be professional and thorough about it.
I mean, here's the thing. Brandon is undoubtedly unprofessional. Like in comparison to a law enforcement individual. Like, obviously, he's a fucking YouTuber. Like, there's going to be a degree of unprofessionalism. I'm hoping this is going, like, I hope... Hold on, let me just double check. I fucking hope, like, it's not just unprofessionalism. Like, you're including in, like, letting guys get away or, like, fucking up cases or, like, getting information, getting important information wrong. Like, I'm hoping that that's what you mean by unprofessionalism. Hold on. Unfoundedness, Elusid, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Hopefully.
With certain things that he has done, it's clear to me that he is neither of these things. Especially when it comes to people that are in the video that, for some reason, he didn't censor nor talk to about what he was doing. Bringing innocent people into a subject as, well, disturbing and dark as the ones he's covering are not good. You shouldn't bring people that are innocent into the mess to get harassed. And today, I actually have two people that...
What do you mean by like he has like individuals uncensored in the video? Like, I mean, there's a criticism there. There's a criticism there. Like, if you're making something, if you're making a video on such a volatile subject, or not even a volatile subject, but like anybody with a subject like this, anybody that goes uncensored risks getting like fucked with. Right? Or like, you know, it's kind of why like anonymity is generally important. But also at the same time, it's just like, I don't know if the people being interviewed are necessarily like owed that unless they ask for it specifically. Like, they should be the ones to ask for it specifically. It doesn't solely fall on Brandon.
I interviewed from one of his videos called The Disturbing World of VR Chat. I'll go more into depth on that video later with certain subjects. To begin, let's start with the person who received the least amount of annoyance and harassment, Bright. Bright only appeared in the video for a minute, but even then, some stuff happened. Now, I actually went out of my way to go find them on Discord to ask them for an interview, which they were cool to do. Some things that need to be noticed that on VR Chat they changed their name, so the one you see in Brandon's video is no longer their current one, so you can't go out your way to go find them. And two, on Discord, they just wanted me to censor their name, which I will happily oblige. For their sake and my sake, please do not go out of your way to go find Bright and ask him about this whole thing. It's just
oh my god, I'm getting fucking a .j vibes, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Do not contact this person. Why not? Why not?
To do and just wrong in my eyes. Please do not go out your way to annoy them about it. Thank you. To begin with, let's actually talk about the main thing I asked them about, which was the harassment. Now, thankfully, nothing actually bad happened to them except for one person, but apparently they got a swift ban, or more likely to me, a kick from the world. And from then on, they just kind of stuck to private worlds, and since their name changed, nothing really bad has happened to them, thankfully. Something interesting I wanted to ask them was what were their overall thoughts on the video as a whole. Now, when I first asked this question, they were actually in VRC, so they couldn't really type everything they wanted to say out without basically taking forever to type it all out. Now, overall, they thought the video wasn't that great, and they actually mentioned somebody else.
What is this? My response could be a bit spotty at the moment. I don't mind if you like VC at the moment, honestly. Whole video was so misrepresentative, it's laughable. Though certainly didn't mention that I and the bunny girl in it were people hung out? Okay. With often a few months prior, wasn't just random people that were coming in onto, okay, just like useless fucking clarifications. Okay.
So I was going to interview later that day. Sometime the next day, Bright gave me
the person that I was coddling, the person that I was coddling in that fucking video, I wasn't a random person. I actually know this person. Like, okay, thank you, dude.
Solid statement on their feelings on the video as a whole, saying that they believed it was a hit piece, that a lot of the stuff that happened in the video was actually a lot more tame than it was shown in the video. The recklessness of Brandon not censoring names felt malicious to them, and just feeling that it was creepy and a step beyond happening to show up in the video. And finally, I gave them a chance to give a message to
if you're in a public world, you can get raped. Okay? Do not care. Okay? You want to complain about, oh, my privacy, my privacy. You're in a public game, in a public lobby. Anybody can fucking record you. And there is nothing you can say or do about it. It's the fucking internet, dude. Holy shit. This is like posting publicly online and being like, you can't screenshot that. That's private. Fuck you. No, it's not.
Brandon, and, well, here it is. Now, the other person I interviewed has sadly gotten harassment from the video. That person is Fyra. Fyra literally appeared in the video
so he's
for,
biased.
God, only a couple of seconds. 30 seconds at the most, but they really didn't appear in the video. But regardless, they still got harassment from it. Now, I need to make this clear, because I know somebody's going to say it. I know that Brandon doesn't have any control over any of his fans or viewers. However, they could have done the bare minimum and censored Fyra's name so none of this harassment would have happened in the first place.
Sure.
But for some reason, they didn't. And in the same clip where they didn't censor Fyra's name, they are implying that they are ERPing with Sipbox, someone they are accusing of.
Oh, okay. I think I see. Did Brandon go into a public lobby and just recorded two random fucking like just recorded a random couple like e-cuddling and said like this game is fully degenerate. People ERP and e-fucking it all the time or something like that? Is that what happened? Okay, I would say, I mean, this is a criticism. This is a criticism I could kind of agree with. Like if you're going out and you're getting B-roll, okay, you should be asking permission just out of like decency, you know. It's just that's just what you do when you're like making these kinds of like documentaries. You ask if like, hey, do you want to be, I'm recording B-roll for my fucking YouTube video about this thing, like do you mind it like if I record you guys e-cuddling or some shit? Like it would have been, you know, he should have maybe asked, but like it's fundamentally it's just a whatever fucking thing. I mean, like these people aren't continually getting fucked with, okay?
Being a predator. You see
whose vid is this? This guy named K3. I mean, I'll put him in the description, or not the description, in chat.
Why that's a problem?
I randomly found Sitbox in a
club. This fucking guy. What the fuck is his name? Shit. I've seen this. I've watched this guy's videos before. Fuck. I forgot his name, dude. Yeah, this is like a predator catcher, dude.
World cuddled up to a user that seemed to be moaning in public.
Okay, so this is the context. So no. Oh, so this is a public lobby. This is a public lobby, seemingly. What the fuck, dude? Okay.
Now I know what you're thinking.
I know what you're thinking. This is fucking gay. Yup.
Is clearly moaning in that clip. You gotta believe me, they're not. That is just their
definition. No. Semantically, no. Yeah, it is moaning. Semantically, it is moaning. Okay, this is the guy's fucking channel. Semantically, yes, it is moaning. Okay, that is what they're doing. Okay, is it sexual moaning? They're e-cuddling, bro. They're e-cuddling. I don't know. The context isn't really doing themselves any favors. Okay, if it's not sexual. All right.
VR headset mic. Is there possibly a filter?
Exactly. Why don't do this in a private lobby? Like, is this a private or a public? It sounds like it's a public lobby. Like, dude, you're in a public lobby. Like, people can fucking record you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, like, fuck off. It's so stupid, dude. Dude, I've seen people get so fucking mad. Dude, people do this with VR chat trolling. Sometimes people will like whip out the camera and just point it at someone and not say anything, and people will just get pissed off and angry. It's like, just fucking ignore it. Ignore it. You're in a public lobby. Like, fuck off. Jesus.
Maybe. But is that their mic?
Get over it.
Yes, that is actually their mic. And you might be asking, how can I prove it? Well, I did a Discord call interview with them, and they were in VR, so I can prove it to you right now. A bit of a fair
thank you
warning. My mic is very low in the video. I forgot to really set it up properly during this interview, so that's a mistake on my part. Okay. And for some reason, Fyra is very, very loud, and sometimes it will have glitches in their mic.
You could like probably fix it in post. I hope you fucking did that, you piece of shit. If you didn't, I'm gonna be so mad.
And they're just kind of hard to understand, so I'm gonna try my best to subtitle each thing. So apologies in advance if it's hard to understand them or if my subtitling doesn't really make sense, because even I had a problem with trying to understand each
play the
thing,
clip.
But trust me,
I trust
the
you.
And we
play
kind
the
of
clip.
had a laugh about it. Also, I just realized
play the
back to the footage how bad my mic was too, because my mic kept cutting the fuck out because I had a certain
dude, please, for the love of God,
setting on that kept cutting it out. I fucking hate myself. I'm so sorry. I'm going to try my best to subtitle everything that I can understand. Apologies in advance. Again, I'm such a fucking moron. Alright, let's just get to the questions. Also, how do you say your
could you not fix this in post?
Oh, I say Fira. Some
Is that fucking Doodle Tones? What the fuck?
people say Fira. I'm good.
Is that fucking Doodle Tones? What?
Fira's usually the one though.
As you can see,
Bro. Dude, what?
their mic is something else. Their mic came from the fucking
I've
abyss.
heard this fucking mic before.
If you're watching this video, which I'm pretty sure you are, I'm sorry.
I'm joking. Is that wait, hold on. Let me actually listen very closely. Is that actually fucking Doodle? Hold up.
Oh, I say Fira. Some people say Fira. I'm good. Fira's usually the one though.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. They got the same they got the same voice changer, that's for sure.
As you can see, their mic is something else. Their mic came from the fucking abyss. Lyra, if you're watching this video, which I'm pretty sure you are, I'm sorry. Your mic is...
It's not their mic, dude. It's not their mic, dude. It's a fucking voice modulator.
Something else. If you're watching this video, to make it easier, my subtitles will be white and Fyra's will be purple. I just want to make it easier to know who is who. I know it's probably easy when you can hear, you know, me and them.
Dude, just play the fucking clip.
But I'm gonna do it for your sake.
What are they saying here? If I recall correctly, there was definitely no cocaine or heart. What the fuck? Just weed at that party. That's the big one I know was mistold on my part. That's the one factually incorrect thing I said. Okay, dude, what?
Because, goddamn, it's hard to understand sometimes. Question one: what were you really doing? Boxes? I'm sure it, you know, seemed. They betrayed it. It was really bad.
No, it's totally.
Okay, I don't know if you could hear, but he asked like, what were you guys doing in that fucking clip?
Cool, don't worry. Okay, so, to paint the entire scene here, at the time, if memory serves me right,
Dude, this fucking dude. Who the...
this was a little over 2 years ago now when that clip actually was taken. I don't know by who, for what it's worth, but I was at a group event of a friend of mine, my roommate.
So it was a group plus lobby. I mean, it's technically not a public lobby, but it's like, it's unrestricted, right? Like, it's unrestricted.
Kimexa is friends with another DJ. I don't want to say too many names here, but
or no, it actually could just be a group public instance too at the same time.
they were hosting a thing called Homie Hangout, and it's just a space where a bunch of DJs just casually play with each other and just hang out. And I was there that night, so it wasn't a club. Okay, I forget if it was like called that in the video, but it wasn't a club. It was just like a hangout group. And Sitbox, who I've been hanging out with on occasion, joined on me. Now, I mean, Sitbox is an affectionate person. He likes cuddling people. He likes being close to people. And I mean, sure. I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I mean, obviously, you know, I allowed this, so you know, it's fine. And he showed up, and we were just kind of in the corner hanging out. And what was really going on? We were just being cute, you know. He was just cuddling me, and I was
What was the actual context for why that clip was even included? I feel like he did not fucking explain.
trying to make like a squeaky noise, which is like cute, like hum, I guess, that you'd hear. And then it was just subtitled as a moan, and I remember looking at that and going, "Wow."
It sounded like a fucking moan, dude.
Wow. You just chose to say that was a moan.
Definitionally, semantically, it is a fucking moan. Yes.
No. It was just cuddling and making cute noises.
Another
That's really all
mosquito,
it was.
yeah.
Now, before we move on to any more questions, I need to tell you guys about these two next questions that are coming up. When I asked for proof for what happened to them in pubs or what happened to their ex in DMs, they couldn't provide anything for.
What the fuck is the why didn't you go into this? What is the did I miss this? Oh my fucking god. Hold on, just real quick. I'm at 11:48. What is the fucking context for this?
Now, the other person I interviewed has sadly gotten harassment from the video. That person is Fyra. Fyra literally appeared in the video for, God, only a couple of seconds. 30 seconds at the most, but they really didn't appear in the video. But regardless, they still got harassment from it. Now, I need to make this clear, because I know somebody's going to say it. I know that Brandon doesn't have any control over Fyra's name, so none of this harassment would have happened in the first place. Fyra's name, they are implying that they are ERPing with...
I randomly found Sitbox in a club world, cuddled up.
Oh, the video's about Simpbox. or Sitbox? Who the fuck is Sitbox? Hold up.
To a user that seemed to be moaning in public.
Okay, so that's the context. Okay, 11:48. Okay. Who the fuck is Sitbox?
Move on to any more questions, I need to tell you guys about these two next questions that are coming up. When I asked for proof for what happened to them in pubs or what happened to their ex in DMs, they couldn't provide anything for me. But I do want you to take this with a grain of salt. However, I still do think it's important to highlight the stuff. Question 2. What happened to you after the video came out, and how long did the effects of the video last for? Question 3.
Why are you interviewing? Dude, what? You don't need... Is this necessary? This isn't necessary. This is just some person who knows a guy. Who the fuck is Sitbox? Why is this person like in a fucking like Predator exposed video? I'm kind of worried. I'm kind of fucking worried, bro. Sup, Guppy? Sup, dude? Spore ass voice, yeah. Bro.
What sort of DMs did your ex-boyfriend receive because of the recklessness of the video?
I remember seeing like everything going on.
Oh, I just remembered. His name is Verum. His name is Verum. That's the fucking guy with the whatchamacallit. Yeah, the spore ass voice changer, the fucking like mechanic robot thing.
I was like, oh yeah, whatever. He's just kind of there, and I had to pause the video because I see like my name X Fire X, and my initial reaction was, holy shit, I'm evidence. Oh, this is awesome. And I was like, at first I was gassed because I was like,
What?
oh man, this is so funny. Like, this is awesome. Like, this is so incorrect, and I just get to be.
It's not though. He said he caught you in 4K in the lobby moaning, okay? And he showed a clip where that was literally fucking happening.
That guy now. And if I'm being honest, that quickly changed when I think that happened on a Thursday.
Okay.
I could be wrong. But Friday night is when I went to, I'm not going to call the club out because it's not really a thing anymore, but I went to a club that night and had a couple friends that were like, hey, so you in Sitbox, huh? And I had to be like, oh shit, right, oh god,
Oh, ruh-roh.
no, because like, it's been a year since that actual clip happened, right? And I was dating somebody, and you know, I don't want to.
You were cuddling with some random fucking dude while you were already in a relationship. Why do VR chat people do this, dude? Like, I'm talking like, obviously I do play a lot of VR chat, but like there's a type. There is a type of person, and they all do this shit. They all do this like fucking like polyamory fucking like shit, man.
You know, bring too much attention to any of that, but like, you know, like what happened after that, right? Was like people were coming to me thinking, oh, you were out like doing stuff, and you know, there's a lot of relationships in VR chat that are polyamorous, and you know, it's not for me, but I'm not gonna judge that. You can do what you want to do. But you know, people are looking at me like, oh, I didn't know you were doing a thing with the YouTube tutorial guy, and I was like, no.
Oh, that's the harassment, was people coming to you and be like, oh, I didn't know you were doing the tutorial thing. So I searched up Sitbox. He does do like tutorial fucking like Blender, whatever, Unity bullshit, like how to upload VR chat avatars and whatnot. Like he does, whoever this Sitbox guy is, he does that, but apparently he got exposed. I can't find the exposed video.
Not really. And my ex got some messages from a couple of his friends saying, hey, is Fyra cheating on you? What's going on, man?
Oh my god. Well, mate, well, you know what? You would not get that allegation if you weren't cuddling random fucking people in a lobby, dude. Okay, dude?
You know,
like, come on.
No, because he saw the clip too. He knew what was going on, right? And he had to go like, no, it's a misunderstanding, but like, you know, after he was starting getting messages, that's kind of what got me to make that Twitter thread, because it was like, dude,
Twitter
this is
thread?
wildly inappropriate.
What the fuck, dude? All right, here we go. The amount of careless and false information in Brennan FM and Verum's new documentary on VR chat is staggering. Maybe I'm putting a bigger target on my head about this, but I'm getting really tired of what I'm being called by other people. Okay.
That this is a thing.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, there's more. I'm prepared to defend things I'm not a part of. I'm not prepared to defend things I'm not a part of. So I can't disprove everything in the doc, of course, but I can speak for the parts that I was used as evidence in. This just feels like you're grabbing for attention. I should open up by saying, firstly and obviously, I wasn't ERPing with Zipbox during that clip. You were moaning, or someone was moaning. Okay? I think it's a safe assumption to say maybe you were fucking e-fucking or some shit, dude, okay? It's not a wrong assumption, okay? If you want to say he's technically wrong, I guess, right? Only you and Sipbox knew what the fuck was going on between you two. But you really cannot blame someone for joining in a fucking lobby and seeing you fucking cuddling and moaning with the fucking guy. Like, come on. I'm more aware than anyone how my mic sounds. Okay, who the fuck gives a fuck? I don't fucking care. Fucking shut up. Fucking negatones. Fuck, where's my thing?
Don't get me wrong, you know, it only, like, that weekend it kind of sucked. The weekend after, we got a few comments, and then after that it was, like, gone. I never heard about it again, which is fine.
Wow, so you weren't fucking harassed. Wow, so when you're, like, running around saying that you were harassed, you weren't actually harassed. You're just, like, being overdramatic about it. Okay.
So, I wouldn't say this is necessarily a long-term thing, but I think the fact that it was able to happen at all is kind of...
To be fair, okay, we're starting off very retarded and very weak, but it could... He's saying that that Brendan FM made false allegations against someone, and this is a 2-hour-long video, so... I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely.
Shut up.
And,
oh my God,
you know,
and
the person I was with at the time, you know, they were pretty well known in the club scene. They opened their own club recently. Really good, by the way.
No one
I don't know if I want to plug it because I don't want to bring too much attention to him. But, good for him. Right? Everything's going pretty great for him. But, like, you know, now he's got this baggage of what the community's starting to see as, like, I don't know, unfaithful girlfriend going around doing that.
If you don't want those accusations, don't e-cuddle. Don't e-cuddle someone that you're probably not dating. You would not get those allegations. I'm just saying.
And it's like, man, it sucked more for him than me in a way, but like, you know, it sucked. It just sucked.
Oh, but you're the one who made the fucking thread.
Do you still get shamed in public instances because of the video?
See, it's not. It hasn't lately.
This person is being like treated as though they are like a pertinent figure in a drama, and they're just not. They're just not, dude. We're giving this person so much fucking attention for nothing. For nothing. This is a nobody. This is a fucking humegalol, okay? Why the fuck are we giving this person so much airtime? Holy shit.
But the thing that's getting me about it is I'm on edge now.
You're on edge? What are you gonna get fucking like e-assassinated? You're gonna get e-kirked or something? What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I saw a video not too long ago. And he used the clip that I was in that video.
Okay, really quickly, I want to just say this now. I'm not trying to throw...
This is worse. This is worse. What are you doing? What are you doing? This is worse. Oh, fuck. This is the worst fucking... Dude, what in the fuck is going on, dude? What the fuck is this video, dude? I saw your Discord message about Crime's New Roman. Yeah, that video is just so fucking retarded. I'm not giving it the fucking time of day. Gonna be served
No
the
shade at Royalty is here at all. I actually watched his video before this interview. I thought it was good, and for the most part, I liked it. So I don't think he's a bad person. I don't think he's a bad content creator. It's just kind of a coincidence. So don't think I'm going out of my way just to try to like rope him into this. I just want to make that very clear. No shade to him. I'm pretty sure it's the same deal with Fyra. However, it's my guess. So outside of this, I have no idea. But I just want to make that very clear that this is not like a diss towards him at all.
And like again, my name wasn't blurred again, so I saw that, and I'm gonna be so real with you. I got hit with like a wave of like anxiety because I was
shut the fuck up. I am so tired of this type of person. I am so tired of this type of person. I got a wave of anxiety. Holy fuck. Do you... I want to know your life story. I want to know your life story. I want to know, like, what is your biggest struggle? Because holy fucking shit, I can't imagine getting a wave of anxiety of that for something so stupid and inconsequential like that. Holy fuck.
Once again, now thankfully no one said anything, but like,
wow, so you panicked for nothing.
The video was out, and we're now at a point where people can go take content from his video that's defaming me, and use
it's not defaming you. It's not. Shut the fuck up, like, dude.
That's a thing now. Like, this is now a trend.
This person sounds and acts like fucking Doodle Tones, bro. Like, oh my god.
That does keep me,
oh my god.
In my head.
Shout out to Fyra for doing this interview in the first place. I really do appreciate it. It really helped me out making this video. Seriously, thank you so much.
What the fuck is this? I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, the group is called Fart Spam. And they target raided my Discord before the event as well. And they came into an event to cause trouble the whole night. I wonder what they did. I wonder what the group Fart Spam did at the fucking disco, bro. Which I very much appreciated, haha. Since this was the first time VRChat was officially highlighted a group event like this, Tupper was sniping them left and right, lol. Okay. Fart spam, bro.
Doing it. But regardless of that, whether you see this as just being a small annoyance or harassment, I still think this should not have ever happened. It's as simple as covering a name. But something that really caught my eye and really showed me how
from what it sounds like, what this person got, it was nothing. It was nothing. This is a nothing drama.
Professional Brandon is a time where he threw another content creator and collaborator on the disturbing world of VRChat under the bus.
Gulp.
That content creator being Tortles. Now, Tortles is a VR, in general, content creator. He's not just a VRChat creator. He has questions about stuff and life and all that kind of fun stuff. Now, why am I talking about him? He helped out Brandon get into contact with Tupper. I will get to Tupper later in the video. Just hold your horses. See, the problem is after the video.
For people who don't know, because I don't think he gave the context, Tupper is like one of the lead developers of VRChat. He's like the big dog of VRChat. So.
You see, 2 days after the video was released, both Brandon and Tortles were going to get into a Twitter space to have a one-on-one conversation, and later on have people ask questions to Brandon. However, 3 days after that announcement of the Twitter space, Brandon didn't hold up his end of the deal. Then on July 1st, Tortles announced that the Twitter space was no longer going to happen and made a whole thread about it. And Brandon gave his reasoning as to why he didn't do the Twitter space. We'll get to that later. The thread is alright. It's kind of just his feelings on everything while also trying to talk to Tupper.
So I don't care.
And just his feelings in general. He's pretty apologetic, so I really don't have anything really to say about the thread itself. However, I do have some stuff I want to say about him and Brandon. Quote, "We spent a few hours arguing about points in the video in a call today, including how the data/evidence was gathered, username privacy, and other points that I still disagree with him on. As much as I want to release everything, this is now a legal battle, and I do not want to be involved between this matter between VRChat and Brandon FM."
What?
To be more clear, I think
Wait, Brandon got sued because of this shit?
VRChat, Brandon FM, and other parties involved are fucking up, and I am now in a position where I have to protect myself legally from all entities. I'm tired of this whole situation like you all are. I don't want to bring any—
Hold on, let me double check his fucking Twitter. What, he's getting sued for this?
Any more attention to it after this, and will only comment on it if I need to. End of quote. This is Brandon's statement that Tortles showed in the same post. Quote from Brandon: "Tortles and I initially agreed to do an interview on his Twitter Spaces following the release of the disturbing world of VRChat. However, I have decided to pull out of this agreement for legal reasons. Tortles did not see the documentary before its release due to rendering and time constraints. I would like to clarify that mine and Tortles' opinions/morals are different on many subjects, and my documentary does not reflect his opinions in any way. I respect the work he does and appreciate his contribution to—
Wait, oh my god, I got distracted. Okay. Fuck. Tortles agreed to disturbing blah blah blah. Did not see the documentary before it released or okay.
To the video, end quote. I think the line of him saying Tortles did not see the documentary before release due to rendering and time constraints is not a really good excuse. You mean to tell me that the entire time before you hit upload, you couldn't show Turtles what the video was about? Now, you could say it's Brandon being forgetful. To that I say...
Wait, what do you mean what the video was about? It sounds like they talked about it.
How? This whole video was planned for months. He did lots and lots of research and work, and yet he still failed to show a collaborator what the video was about. To me, it feels like he's trying to throw anything at the dartboard to see if it'll stick, and surprisingly, this one actually stuck. Now, to talk about the legal reasons. Now, I've looked everywhere online, and I can't find a single thing about any legal issues that Brandon has been having with VRChat and vice versa. There is nothing. Now, to be fair to Brandon, this could all just be a quiet little lawsuit or something of that nature. Because sometimes you don't need to put on a parade for a...
I feel like if you made a video calling VRChat out for, you know, the way the platform is moderated, which I think is totally fair to do, even though I might disagree with, like, some people. Getting sued for that, I feel like you would announce that. I feel like you would announce that. You would make that public.
Whole lawsuit or something against the law or whatever they're going for him after. But the thing is, I feel like we would have heard it by now. Hear me out.
No, I think it's totally fair for, like, this guy. No, you don't need to check. I don't even know how you would check that. I don't even know how you would do that.
When it comes to legal issues, especially with VRChat, you'd think Brandon would make a video asking for help or getting the knowledge out there about this whole legal issue, because Brandon, I feel like, would do that. Hell, I would if I was being sued or getting into legal issues with a company that you don't like. Now, to be fair to Brandon, he literally could be legally not allowed to talk about this in public, so who knows, really. Now, I don't want to say he's lying about legal issues. That would be a little bit of a stupid move to do on my end. But it is pretty weird that since then, there's been nothing at all. We have never heard anything about it. And if you're wondering about Turtles, he is fine, but likes crypto, so boo womp or something. All right, with that out of the way, it's time for our next little chapter. Let's talk about how he might have let people get away with it.
Oh, now, this fucking video. I've seen this fucking video. This video is very interesting. But the thing is with this guy, like, okay, letting him get away with it, he didn't necessarily get away with it, right? Like, I don't think there was any way, like, any sort of, like, legal case could have happened, because especially when it comes to, like, internet crimes with dealing with different jurisdictions, if this person isn't, like, a serial, like, predator or pedophile, and you can't get them dead to rights as having, like, possessed something like child porn or some shit, then the cops will just not do anything. And these guys are just going to run anyways. Even if you don't make the video and you send the information over to the police, they won't fucking do anything about it, because it's just like no police department wants to put up with that headache. Like, that's just a grim reality that we live in. So I think exposure, like in a circumstance like this, exposure, that's totally fucking fine. You want to out this guy, you want to put his face on blast and shit. Then yeah. Then I think that's fine. I think that's fine. But obviously there's a lot of, like, ethical concerns with that too. So it's like you have to make sure that you know what you're talking about. You don't want to falsely accuse anybody, and you need to have all your fucking ducks in a row. So
to clarify and state the most obvious statement of all statements, yes, it's good to hunt down and investigate pedophiles on any platform, no matter what. Real life, online, doesn't matter. It's good.
Not inherently. You have to know what the fuck you're doing. I would not recommend just a random person do it. You have to know what the fuck you're doing. Okay.
The main goal for every single investigation should be to throw these sick fucks in jail where they can rot forever. Another main goal in mind is to always give the evidence to the right authorities for these kinds of situations. Sure. Now, I don't want to say it, but I think that's a pretty obvious statement when I say it out loud. I'm pretty sure everyone can agree, yeah, that's the right thing to do. Now, I do have a worry, though, that majority of the predators that Brandon has covered have never seen any consequence due to his videos. Now, to be very clear, I do think Brandon is doing the right thing by getting all this information out into the public. I think it's a great thing you do that. To be even more fair to Brandon, not everything can be solved with a police report. I understand that. I get it. Look, older people don't really understand online stuff too well. They don't really understand that sometimes there are really bad and shitty people online that do a lot of...
No, that's not... You have such, like, a naive idea about how this fucking shit works, dude. It's not that they don't know that child predation exists online. That's been a problem since the dawn of the internet. Like, that's been a recognized issue within the entire planet, basically, since the dawn of the internet. Okay. The problem is jurisdictions. The problem, like, the thing that comes to mind, the Creeps McPasta bullshit. Creeps objectively solicited child pornography from a 12-year-old girl when he was 21 years old. He was never going to get charged for something like that because he was in Europe and the girl was from the United States. It's just nothing was going to happen there. Nothing was going to happen there. And she only came forward like almost 10 years after the fact, right? Like, a case like that is just... was going to go nowhere. Like, it's doomed from the start. It's doomed from the jump because especially because of the jurisdictional differences, right? Like, Komori, which was the accuser, Komori's personal, like, police district isn't going to reach out to the UK to get Creeps fucking extradited, or how would you even begin to charge something like that? Like, I guess, like, I mean, you could technically charge Creeps for CP possession, but the thing happened 10 fucking years ago. I don't know how UK law works. I don't know if you could get a warrant for something that happened allegedly 10 years ago, right? Technically speaking, allegedly. I think it's objectively true, but whatever, right? Like, obviously when it comes to criminal bullshit, it's going to be allegedly. But or like law or like legal whatever. But like, I don't know. You're dealing with shit like that. That's why a lot of them do get away with it.
Illegal stuff, for the most part. So I can sympathize as to why these videos get made. I can understand why. Sometimes the police doesn't always do their job the greatest. And that's completely fine. If you want to make a video getting the stuff out to the public, do it. I think you're doing a great thing. But if you're playing detective and these predators get away and your methods are a bit questionable, well, people are going to start asking questions, myself included. And that's the problem with Brandon for some of these. You see, a lot of these have a lot more questions than answers. And I think that's a big problem. I think when you do these kind of things, you need to nail it on the head. And sadly, I have questions to ask. So let's begin with the first one. Let's start a little bit light. One that I can understand why. Let's start with Straybound. Straybound is the main subject of the video Mystery of a VRChat Predator, somebody who was in the US military. So you might be asking, why am I giving more leeway to Brandon on this video? You see, after Brandon found out who Straybound really was thanks to the victim's help, Brandon actually found their Discord server and joined on an alt account. After a bit of gathering up information, the victim sent over a lot of screenshots of Straybound and his disgusting actions. Really, it's fucking disgusting, like, I'm serious. But somehow, in some way, the moderators found out who Brandon really was. However, they didn't expose him immediately. They actually wanted to help Brandon out, expose Straybound, but they wanted to rush out all the information out to the public.
Oh, right, okay, no. Okay, so that was that video that he showed at the start. I think that was Straybound.
I woke up to not one, not two, but 3 new people in the group chat, 2 of which were the current mods for Stray. Again, these people all know who I am now and what I'm doing, and at any point could tell Stray everything. All it would take is for one stubborn person to not believe Belly or the screenshots. On top of that, some of them wanted to put all of the information out on Stray's Discord server that day for everyone to see, without a plan or anything.
So I can give him a little bit of slack here. But people in the comments didn't give him that much slack or leeway. For the most part, there's still a lot of positive comments, but...
Wait, okay, so what are they saying? What the fuck? Why don't you... What is the criticism?
So I can give him a little bit of slack here. But people in the comments...
Exposing predators shouldn't be a puzzle game, not gonna lie. Or shouldn't be a puzzle game. Oh, he literally says puzzle game.
Comments didn't
give... The way this whole grooming ordeal was turned into an ARG game is kind of weird, to be honest. Like, okay, yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing. Here's my defense of Brandon for doing that. That can be very jarring, but it's a YouTube video, and if you want eyes on a video, it's got to be interesting and entertaining. Okay, that's just like no one just wants to sit down and watch a video of like Brandon being like, guys, no editing for this video. I don't want to do any special or entertaining edits, or, you know, I don't want to sit here and organize and tell a story about this subject. I just want to show you guys, this guy's a child predator. Anyways, bye. Like, and like show the evidence or whatever. Like, that video isn't going to get as many views, I don't think. Right? If you want this guy to be exposed, if this guy can't get arrested because of the jurisdictional differences and whatnot, and your goal is to simply expose him, I think it's fair to do some kind of like to make it dramatic, I guess. I mean, documentaries do this. I mean, technically documentaries do this kind of shit all the fucking time, technically speaking. It's just, there is a way to go about it, and maybe Brandon, I would need to rewatch the video, but maybe Brandon did it in a way that was like very like tone deaf. I mean, my Creaser video is pretty tone deaf, I will admit, but like the intro part at least. But with Brandon, I like this is fundamentally it's ultimately a negligible criticism, I think.
Give him that much slack or leeway. For the most part, there's still a lot of positive comments, but there's actually like a good handful of negative comments.
Wait, what was that one comment? What the fuck?
But people, a lot of positive comments.
This is so wrong. You need to contact actual police, especially if someone tried to hurt themselves. What is this video on? He said, what was the guy's name? Whatever.
But there's actually like a good handful of negative comments about the video. You see, a lot of people don't actually know if Brandon sent all the information, the relevant information, to the right authorities before making the video. And to quickly touch upon this, I do think this is a bigger problem, not just with Brandon, but the...
Oh wait, he responded. Great vid and well edited, but one thing that bugged me near the end, why wasn't those chat shots handed over to law enforcement as soon as you got them? The ending would have most likely been Straybound eating prison food for the next 10 to 15 years instead of slinking into the shadows to do this all over again under a new nick. Hey, it's totally valid question. The DMs were handed over to Discord and Discord did nothing. Wait, oh my god, you didn't even bother sending it to the fucking police? I mean, you should at least try, right? Like, you should at least try, you know? Like, okay. That's a bit fucking retarded of him. After that, we looked into... Okay, well, fucking... Pause, Andy. After that, we looked into handing them into law enforcement, but there was zero way for an outcome where Straybound... Oh my fucking god, you do it anyways! You do it anyways, though! What do you mean? What do you mean we looked into it and there was zero way? You do it anyways! Just send it anyways! Fuck it! Because they might not act on that kind of information, but they might pocket that and then look into him and be like, oh, he's tripping off fucking CSAM hashes or whatever the fuck online. Like, let's go get a warrant for his house and raid it. And then like that could lead into like 50 other, that could lead into him potentially getting arrested for unrelated things, but still that there is that could push some kind of legal consequence. You should just be sending it anyways. I understand like there is a circumstance in which like it's very, very unlikely he's going to get arrested for that particular thing, but you should still be sending the information anyways. Okay, that is a big fucking criticism, okay, against Brandon.
VR chat vigilante community as a whole, and one day I'll get to that. Not this video, but I'll touch on it here and there. But anyways, that's not the point. The comments had a lot of good reasons to question Brandon if he did the right thing by handing the information and the evidence to the proper authorities.
That is
and we wouldn't get an answer until, well, his next VR chat video. Which I'll put a statement
you
right
just
here.
Showed a what the fuck you just showed a comment of him addressing it. What?
For those who don't know who Straybound is, he was the subject of my previous documentary. First of all, yes, he has been reported to the authorities, and I have contacted the Texas Army National Guard about the situation.
Okay, now he's done it. Now he's done it after the backlash. Like, oh god, dude, you should just be sending it automatically anyways. Yeah, like what the fuck are you doing, dude?
as well, since we managed to find what sector of the army he worked in from one of the badges on his uniform. Straybound is still active to this day on a private server, and he is still denying that he did anything wrong. In fact, for the past 3 months, I have had someone in his server to monitor his activity, and it seems like he's just acting like everything didn't happen. He is also still active on YouTube and VR chat.
And that was the statement. I know it was kind of small and a little bit disappointing, but we did get some answers. Yes, he did send every relevant information and all the evidence to the right authorities. I think the only problem is, when did he do it? Did he do it before the video?
Well, he said
did he do it after the...
Do you not... You're the one who made the fuck... You just showed the screenshot where Brandon literally admitted to not sending it to law enforcement. Like, what do you... He admitted to not sending it initially. Dude, like... So, like, what the fuck? How did you not notice that? The fuck?
Video. I know I showed that comment earlier, but...
Yeah?
I don't know when he did it. It could have been before or...
The comments is Brandon saying he didn't. What do you mean?
Or after. It could have been like after the video was uploaded or before.
It looks like it's after the video was uploaded.
I don't know. He never clarifies that, and that's the problem. But hey, on the bright side, Brandon did do the right thing by sending all the information
after
to the right
backlash.
people.
After the backlash,
did he do it before or after? I'll leave that up to you, since I don't have a really good answer, nor am I confident in saying which is which. But hey, if Brandon ever wants to come out one day and tell, I'll let him do that. Now, I could ramble off the other 2 videos he's made on 2 pedophiles. One being Hypnotist Sappho, which I think a lot of people know their story, zoophile, pedophile.
This fucking video is weird as fuck. I will always maintain that. I mean, like, Brandon obviously isn't, like, being sympathetic to Sappho throughout the video. Like, he's obviously like, yeah, this person's, like, a disgusting freak. But, like, there are, like, some, not attempts, maybe attempts imply that it was intentional. He talks to Sappho and he interviews Sappho, and Sappho is just allowed to bitch and complain about their fucking life or whatever the fucking, like, you know, talk like as if grooming like several fucking minors into being zoophiles and like fucking raping and molesting their dogs is like not a big deal. Like, fucking insane.
Go watch Lanza's videos on her. They're great. And Alyssa. Alyssa being a VRChat cult leader who is also a pedophile. Now, I would talk about their stories, but I think you might get the idea of what I would say. So I'm not going to say anything on their stories. If you want to go find out more, Lanza and Brandon's video on Alyssa. That's not what I want to talk about. I actually want to talk about something a lot more possibly disturbing and questionable from Brandon himself. So, let's talk about Hannah.
Who the fuck is Hannah, bro?
Alright, let me immediately clarify something. Everything that I'm going to talk about in this part is alleged. Nothing has been confirmed true or false or true. I hope you get that. Everything here is being alleged by an admin of Beneficial. They have sent me proof unlike the other sections. Now, I can't say for certain if Brandon did what he did, but I need you to listen and watch. So, let's begin with something small. Who is Hannah? They're a pedophile. I know, simple, but that's stating the obvious. But where they were is also pretty important to the story. You see, they were in a server called Team Beneficial. Now, you might be asking, what is that? Well, Team Beneficial is a 18+ NSFW VRChat server / Discord / whatever you want to do. They do events, they do all kinds of stuff.
Is this the same Sopho video that Adoch mentioned in his SACC video?
No, not likely. I don't think so. Because I think this video came out after .j's video, but it's very like .j coded. I mean, to be fair, there are it's not as bad. It's not as bad as .j's video, but like there's some filler that could be cut out, and like he should be paying more attention to what the fuck is going on in the video.
Brandon has a whole section on them in the dark side of VR, so yeah. Look, I don't really want to talk about what they do in their events. It's just, you know,
they eat
typical VRChat stuff. You could probably say something insulting, and it would probably apply to them.
Yep.
Yes, their security and ID checking was complete garbage back then, but apparently, and from what I've seen, it's
what am I looking at, bro? Is that necessary?
I really don't know what else to say to that, so it's whatever now. But I'm not here to talk about their coverage in that video. What I'm here to talk about is Hannah being inside
get this shit off my screen, bro.
Brandon's part in it. You see, 2 days after the disturbing world was released to the public, some people on Twitter didn't really like it. One of these tweets actually got the attention of Verum, somebody who
Okay, read the fucking tweets. What is going on?
You see, 2 days after the disturbing world was released to the public,
okay, what is this? All right, I wasn't gonna post much about this, but seeing this stupid ass video is getting traction, I figured I'd go a little thread to type about the video, just outlining exactly who it is they got their info from, and this thread is incorrect, as we already did. I already had valid evidence long before our brief encounter with that individual to whom we gained nothing from and quickly dismissed. Your personal problems, them as a real. Okay, what is the criticism? What the fuck?
Some people on Twitter didn't really like it. One of these tweets actually got the attention of Verum, somebody who collaborated on the disturbing world of VR chat, and spoilers, somebody I'm going to make a video on in the future one day.
Gulp?
Yes, I know. We'll get to that one day.
I might need to relook into Verum, dude, because like I like I said earlier, like I used to watch Verum. I don't think he makes videos anymore. I don't know. I haven't kept track. But I liked a lot of his videos at the time that I also liked Mama Max's videos. Okay, so I might need to re-examine. I don't know, but from what I remember, Verum was more like he had evidence for a lot of the guys, and he was like keen on exposing them. Like I don't think Verum was like necessarily lying in his videos. Like he was just catching and exposing these guys and hopefully sending the information to law enforcement if he could.
Actually, in response to that comment, the Team Beneficial admin actually made a response to him, and it really caught my eye.
Okay, what the fuck? Okay. I'll say more to shoot shots at Brandon more than you. Brandon has fabricated evidence before. His darker side of VRC video bits on formerly known as Team Beneficial, now Zenith, is fabricated on certain levels.
Verum law stream when?
I don't know. I would have to look at him. Like I don't think there's any drama surrounding Verum. Like he hasn't been exposed for doing anything bad or anything. But he's just like a VR chat predator catcher guy or whatever the fuck. Like Verum, I'll say this, Verum's been doing it way before like most people were in VR chat. Like he's been doing it for a hot minute. His claim as 18 plus is non-existent is factually incorrect. What? The actual event ping regarding host information was locked behind 18 plus verification rules. Wait, the actual event ping. Okay, so the ping for the events was 18 plus verification rules. This was done on 12/21. The event record was in expected time frame of March 19th, March 5th. What event? Dude, someone else verified had leaked the host information to an individual who's recording the event. Furthermore, his finding a pedo in the server edit is not fully blocked out to all individuals. There were certain channels you could see, not the NSFW event ping channels, as did host pure. Okay, this is a lot of yapping. A mixture of NSFW members and Safer Work members to attend these events. But your Discord as a whole was 18 plus, right? Like you age gated the entire Discord server, right? You did that, right? I hope.
So here's the statement. I'm not going to read it out, but here it's pretty long. I'll give you a couple seconds to just read it over. Like I said, it's pretty long.
I skimmed up. Wait, why don't you fucking read it? Why don't you fucking read it, motherfucker? You're the one who's making the video.
So, me being the curious person that I am and wanting to get more information for this video, I actually reached out to this admin, and they gave me a couple of answers to my questions. So, let me read out the first statement. The first statement from the Club Beneficial admin. Quote, so first off and foremost, this was about Club Beneficial. This event that they recorded at was only entered by assistance or help. The events tab for event pings was already locked at the time of the recording. Our event ping channel was long locked for the event that they attended and recorded. It was locked somewhere in December of 2021, the previous year.
You know, I wish this fucking guy gave the context as to why he's talking about this fucking shit. Like, okay, that's cool. That like, you're telling me the video that this drama is based off of, but Tell me why this person is complaining. I don't know why this admin is complaining. It doesn't make any sense.
The only way someone of this caliber got in was somebody who was already very
these claims in relation to what? In relation to what? What happened in Brandon's video that is out of because it feels like a lot of these things are just out of context.
Got in through some leaking information of who the host was. During said event, at least 5 people were on the spot verified before access to the event. The event that they attended was roughly around March 2022, according to our records of wierd and possible event lists of who attended. The most dangerous of their tactics was the alleged predator that they found in the Discord at 2:24, or in our case, Hannah. The missing individual was an alt account of Brandon FM, or at least a friend of theirs. And, 7 being another alt. So yes, they slipped past, but in no way, shape, or form were the DMs posted in that convo posted in our server. We have a create ticket system that anyone can access, and they had the chance to report that individual that they found. Timestamp of this pedo was February 18th, 2022. They must have caught wind of the video coming and left the Discord on April 16th, 2022. Video upload was May 6th, 2022. They let this pedo free in our server for 2 months. End quote.
If that is true, that's fucking crazy. That you knew this guy was a fucking pedophile in this Discord server. You didn't tell any of the moderators for months. That's insane.
For how weird that probably sounded, but if you look at your
even if it is like an 18+ server, I fucking hope that it is. You should not be mixing. You should not be mixing that. You should not be mixing VR chat degeneracy in a server that allows fucking minors. That's fucking insane if that's the case. But even if it was an 18+ server, you should just ban pedophiles in general,
Green, their spelling isn't the greatest, but I tried my best. And a different question that I had for the admin, which was, do you know what happened to Hannah? In the video, Brandon didn't tell us what happened to them. The admin responded by saying, no idea, disappeared. But yeah, no report, no nothing to us. They let them run rampant for 2 more months. They are posthumously banned in our server after the video went up. The account still has numbers, so more than likely they just abandoned it and ran away, making a new account to hide. Now I know that's a crazy statement that the admin said. They're accusing Brandon of letting a pedophile run around in their server for 2 months without them telling anyone.
And you have the answer to this, right?
Gave some pretty important stuff to their claims, so I would like to showcase them right now. Here are the logs to all the accounts that Brandon was using in the video. One being his main account, being the BFM, and the other being Seven or Missing Asset. Brandon changed Seven to Missing Asset, just a quick side note. But that's not why we're...
You should be... If you're gonna create covert alts, Brandon, you shouldn't name the alt account, the secret alt account, Missing Texture or Missing Asset. I think that's a dead giveaway, dude. I think that's a dead giveaway.
We're here to see if Brandon really let a predator run around for 2 months without any consequence until his video came out. Now, surprisingly, the admin did actually have proof that Hannah did stay around for 2 months. What you're looking at right now on screen is the ticket of when Hannah left the server. Now, I don't know if June 1st, 2017 is when they made their account, joined the server, or whatever.
This was when the ticket was created.
However, what I do know for sure is that...
So they joined, I'm assuming.
When you look at the date of when Hannah left, it says April 16th, 2022.
Oh, left. Okay. This person left. Okay.
And Brandon's video was made on May 6th, 2022. But the golden question is...
Wait, what? Hannah left on June 1st, 2017.
And Brandon's video was made on May 6th, 2022.
I'm so confused. What?
But the golden question is, when did he join? Well, he joined Valentine's...
Wait, he joined on Valentine's Day of 2022.
Day of 2022.
Okay.
And if you need a reminder, the video was made on May 6th of that same year. Look, I have no idea if Brandon really did just let this predator run around in that server for
Brandon's B-roll is fucking insane, by the way.
2 months. I don't know if he tried to do anything. I don't know if he contacted anyone. I don't know. The only person that does know is...
I don't think that proves that he let this pedophile run around in their Discord server, because it looks like they left a long ass time ago. In 2017. They left in 2017, bro. Wait, so this Discord server was around for a long time, because VRChat was not... that popular in 2017. It really started to pick up in 2018, but it was not that popular in 2017, I don't think. Dude, oh my god, old VR chat. I miss old VR chat, bro. The Wild West, man, bro.
Brandon himself. I understand they made a section on Team Beneficial about how degenerate.
You know, there would be lobbies full of people like going to comedy clubs and like actually using it. And actually, not a group of muted people standing in front of a fucking mirror saying nothing. People were actually socializing in the social game, bro.
They are and all their wacky activities they get up to. I understand, and he probably didn't trust them, but that doesn't mean that allows you to let the danger still roam around in that server. It can be very dangerous.
Roam around? I'm so confused. It looks like they left in 2017, though, right? Like,
if they found somebody new to groom or do something much heinous to. It's irresponsible for him to even have done this.
Am I missing something?
To keep it a secret for 2 months until his video came out. Just want to give a quick little thank you to the Team Beneficial admin for even entertaining my interview and giving me this evidence. It's really helpful. I appreciate it. With that out of the way, let's get to the next section. And funnily enough, this section would not have happened if I didn't run into this person for a different video entirely.
Oh. Gold.
Let's begin this chapter with a story. And it all begins with a video that had no relationship to anything with this video. No Brandon, no nothing. It was just me back then. You see, 2 years ago, I made a video on the Black Dahlia, one of my favorite VRChat ARGs of all time. I had a lot of fun and had a blast trying to understand the story and mystery behind the Black Dahlia. When all was said and done, I uploaded the video. And after that, life just happened. Stuff got in the way of me continuing the Black Dahlia and so forth. But funnily enough, less than a month later, I actually got a DM from somebody, and they just told me how the video was great, and I really appreciate it. I did respond to them. Unfortunately, I did it in my style, so more than a year later... Jesus Christ. But surprisingly, even after all that time, he decided to respond to me, and it was actually quite nice. Needless to say, from that point on, we've actually become pretty good friends. And I really do appreciate his friendship. But today, that is not why I'm talking about him. You see, his story is weirdly spiraled in Brandon's first ever video, The Secret Road of VRChat. And you might be asking by now, what's his name? His name is Ryan Odyssey. I'm not even kidding.
You say that like I'm supposed to know who the fuck that
is a fucking paradox. I am not kidding. When I found out that he was the person in Brandon's video, I dead ass like fucking wojacked. I'm not even fucking kidding. I wojacked. It genuinely surprised me when I found that out. And of course, as you know, I had to ask him questions about the Ace Topside incident. And so I gave him questions, and he gave.
Give me the context. Give me the context. You should be treating the people coming to this video as if they don't know the context, right? Like, obviously, like, if someone's clicking on this video, they should know who Brandon FM is. But I don't watch all of Brandon's fucking videos. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the Ace fucking bullshit event is, dude. I don't know what that is.
Give me answers. Now, to clarify, Ryan does not have any screenshots, recordings, or anything from that night, so we can't really fully put this stuff to rest. However, I do have faith that Ryan is telling the truth. Ryan is there that night. You can see in the footage.
Just trust me, bro. Really?
He is there. He is walking around and he is doing stuff. That is him. Now, if you want to, you can say that this is me being biased towards Ryan.
You
totally understand. I get it that he is my friend, so I'm more inclined to believe.
Wait. You're friends with the Ryan guy? Are you? It looks like you barely talked.
So I can't really knock you if you think that I'm just being biased towards Ryan and I'm taking his word as fact. But I do recommend, if anything, you take it with a grain of salt. Even sometimes Ryan doesn't know for sure on certain subjects, but I do think it's worth highlighting. So let's begin with my questions and then his answers. Question 1. What led up to that point in the night? Question 2. What happened after the point where Brandon stopped recording, if anything actually did happen afterwards? Question 3. What did you do after the video was released? Question 4. What happened to Ace Topside, and is he still around? And finally, question 5. Is there anything else you would like to say? And so, once I finished up my questions, Ryan decided to answer all my questions that same night. And here's how it all went down from his perspective. Honestly, Brandon showed up basically the entire lead up. I don't think you can get better than the footage itself. Brandon was in the world before I was, but I think he shows the lead up very well until the 7 minutes in heaven. Once they went in the closet, he left a big gap, which makes sense for the purposes of telling a story in the video. But, well, I'll talk about that in the other responses. I don't remember much after he stopped recording, like after Ace and the 13-year-old were out of the closet.
Jesus Christ, okay, that's the context. Oh my god. Okay.
Talked to them and all, but if you look in the video when they went into the closet and the video is fading to black, as Brandon says, they were alone for 7 minutes or some shit.
That is so... Brandon did something about this though, right? Like he saw this occurring and he called attention to it and he shut it down, right?
You can literally see me unlock the closet and walk in, which as you can see in the footage, he unlocks the closet and goes in there. So now you can see why I believe him. I don't know. I wasn't in there the whole 7 minutes, but
why do you trust this person? This is very weird.
They weren't doing shit. They didn't seem like they were preparing to ERP or some shit. They were sitting and having a normalized conversation. Motherfuckers were crisscross applesauce. So for that,
I don't care. You're playing 7 minutes in heaven, and I'm assuming the guy, the subject of the video, is a fucking adult, and he's in a closet with a 13-year-old apparently. I don't care if they were just talking. No. What the fuck?
I have reason to believe they didn't do anything like literally jerk off in there or something. I know I didn't see anything like that when
random person, bro. What the
walked in the closet, which I probably walked in there twice because at that time I usually did whenever we were in 7 minutes in heaven world because I wanted attention and shit. But they probably had like 5 minutes to themselves. I can't say anything for those 5 minutes, but I also personally think it would be kinda a lot to happen in 5 minutes, but also I have no way of knowing what happened in that time frame. So, bleh, I'll leave it there. After Brandon stopped recording in the video, I just remembered one of them leaving the lobby, and it was kinda just normal after that. To be fair,
he just saw it. So Brandon saw this occur and allegedly did nothing. That's insane. That's insane. That's insane if true. That's fucking crazy, man.
The normal for that group did involve talking a bit inappropriate with minors around.
Yeah, no adult should be in a closet with a kid. What the fuck? Well, it's like it's 7 minutes in heaven. The context of that is that it's supposed to be a sexual game, right? It's supposed to be like a very like a flirty type game. Like, why are we even allowing 13-year-olds in this shit to begin with?
But Ace didn't say anything like implying that he did anything with that kid. But that doesn't...
That 7 minutes in heaven map should be like that shit's been around for fucking ages. And I remember calling that fucking shit out. And in like an old ass fucking video that I made, like calling attention to some of the problems in VR chat. That world should be fucking banned, bro.
I mean, he didn't, of course. I'm just giving the information I have.
I don't know,
People told me I was in the video, and I actually tried to contact Brandon. I waited till his Discord was open for the release of his next video, and I talked to him there. And I added him saying the whole, hey, I know Ace Topside, and I feel like I can give you a lot of good information about the group, and I can tell you a lot about the issues that VR chat causes with minors and shit. And I distinctly remember Brandon telling me that he'll get into contact with me if he needs me. And then he never did. And I just remember like him saying the if he needs me part. And it really seemed like it was just a thing where it didn't fit his narrative. So he didn't care to get more information.
Or like your random testimony was not suited for the video. There's also that. Like maybe you're not an important figure to the situation. And like why would Brandon include some random fucking shitters like oh here's my problems with VR chat, like just some random fucking person, like okay.
So he's now walking away from it, but that's my opinion and not factual. Also, I couldn't get the actual message he sent since his Discord is paid to join last I checked. So that is a paraphrase of what he said, but that is basically how I remember it. No clue. Honestly, all I knew about him is that he had some anger issues and that he was the cameraman for a very short-lived friend group YouTube channel that is, like, impossible to find now. I tried, like, every avenue I could even imagine.
That's all I know about him.
Brandon? That friend group just kind of went their separate ways with time, and I remember Ace drifting away from the group earlier than most, so shrug. I think I heard he changed his username, so he could have left the friend group because of this. Well, it's no stretch that he was probably getting harassed everywhere he went after the video came out. But bleh, I honestly wouldn't know anything about that. Brandon FM assumed he was watching a 13-year-old get groomed into ERP in front of him.
this situation looks fucked, bro. It looks fucked on paper. I don't fucking give a shit. I would rather be like, okay, I was gonna say something fucking crazy. I'd rather be shot in the head, okay, than like be in that situation. That's fucking crazy, man.
He was in that lobby. He clearly thought that they were getting textbook groomed before going into the closet.
That's what it fucking looks like. That's a safe assumption.
Like to make it very
what
clear
the fuck?
that he could have done something, like intervene, walked in the
okay,
closet
yeah,
to maybe,
true.
you know,
That's true.
save the
That's
minor
true.
from that situation somehow. He could have spoken up. He could have done literally anything, but he didn't even make an attempt to. I remember him being in that lobby, and he was nothing but an obelisk the whole.
That is true. That is true. That's the part. That's the part to me. It's like, if that is true, that Brandon, like, and apparently, I mean, it should be evident throughout the video, like on Brandon's end, that if you just sat there and you just saw this occur, that's insane. That is crazy that you just sat there and watched this happen and like didn't do anything. That would be fucking crazy. But yeah, Jesus.
Time. He didn't do a thing but to move the one time to record Ace and the minor's conversation after the closet. Also, I was getting mentally fucked up in that group because of all this sex talk was normalized to me, and it really impacted my development.
Is this person a minor?
I could have been helped out of that situation if Brandon fucking spoke up. I just needed
Wait, how the okay, this is great. How old is this person?
someone to show me why it was wrong, but he didn't. And when he got the opportunity to know more about the group through me, he didn't take it, which showed me where his priorities lie. He cares more about the video.
Yeah. Big if true. That's the big fucking part. That's something that should be addressed by Brandon. That is fucking crazy. Like, you're making these fucking videos and you're not even trying to, like, you're seeing things happen and you're not even like trying to intervene. You need to be pressured to send shit to the police. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing, dude? Bro.
In the content than the victims, and he will make up narratives to achieve that. He doesn't care if it's the full truth or not. Sure, he may do some good, but it's clear that's not his priority. And just because he does achieve some good, that doesn't mean his intentions and motives should not be called into question. The shit that came out about how he does interviews and all honestly just validated my opinions on that. I wish he was better though. I know younger me could have used somebody who actually explained why VRChat is toxic for minors. Because just saying there's predators.
So this person was also a minor. Okay, well that also recontextualized. Okay, so I'm not as weirded out by this person. That is crazy though that Brandon like seemingly just saw this shit happen and like did fucking nothing, man. Holy.
On it, and there are evil groups on it, doesn't explain that. Everything has predators and whack shit going on in it. To get through to someone who has friends on the platform and won't be scared away by the simple threat that you might meet a predator needs to hear the good with the bad, to trust what the person is saying. And they need to hear the lesser evils that aren't as extreme as cults and full of pedos. That could seriously damage their mindset and development.
Are we really surprised?
In short, Brandon never tried to talk about the good of VRChat with the bad.
I don't know, man. You would think like your conscience would like force you to like intervene. Like, I remember telling this fucking story. I can't remember in what video or if it was a live stream, but like there was a time where like I was in like a fucking public lobby, right? And I was just fucking around like socializing and whatnot. I think, was I drunk? I can't fucking remember. But like I remember an incident where like I saw like two people fucking cuddling and I just like clicked on their bios. One of the guy was like 20 something. The other person was like fucking like 15. I'm like, whoa, like what the fuck is going on here? Immediately called attention to it. I'm like, hey, what the fuck is going on here, guys? This guy's an adult and that's a child and you're cuddling up with him. What the fuck? Right? Like, and they quickly separated after that. And like people like were chasing the fucking guy around. I'm like, dude, like what the fuck is going on, man? Crazy.
Bad, and he never talked.
But like that's what I mean. It's like your conscience would force you to fucking say something, but like apparently Brandon didn't. Like that's insane. For Brandon something like that, actually 2 videos. It's cooked.
about what needed to be talked about, the gateway drugs that lead to the extremes of cults and grooming for minors. And that was Ryan's statement. Honestly, it's a very strong statement in my eyes, since Ryan was the little person.
It's an emotional statement. It's total fucking hearsay, to be fair. But I mean, like, at the same time, that is something that I think, like, if it is evident in Brandon's video that he saw this occur and he just didn't do anything about it, that's insane. That is insane, and you should address that.
There that night. Having more insight in the group and the people around him really does help out this statement. Again, take everything with a grain of salt, since Ryan does not have any photos or evidence to back up his claim.
Good.
He's being fair, regardless of what you think. And also, the statement will later actually help me out with a different part I want to talk about later in the video. But for right now, that is all the statements I want to say for the beginning part. The next chapters will be a lot more serious and a lot more dark. But for right now, how about you take a little bit of a break?
Oh my god. What is this? What is this? What? Okay, he's just... Okay, thank you for the intervention. Next topic. He's the same as the rest of them.
Right, it
sounds like
the
it.
record on my end. You see, in a video that I made called I Hate the Perception of VR Chat, I actually called out Brandon and Verum pretty early on. You see, in my infinite wisdom of dumbassery, I probably was too confident in thinking that, hey, I can probably get this shit in one take. But for some reason, my dumb shit self decided to think, hey, this is fine, even if the information is incorrect. It was more like I just wanted to get the video out, but still, I'm a fucking dumbass for even doing this in the first place. So you might be asking, what did I get wrong in the video? Well, let me play the clip for you. This is one of the points that I'll make and talk about in the future video. Brandon, if you didn't know from one of Toastify's videos, is that he worked with a predator at one point for 2 videos. Okay, let me just kill this immediately. That's just incorrect on my end. That is fucking incorrect. I fucked up on my end, so...
That's quite the fuck up there. You just accused the guy with working with a fucking pedophile. That's quite the fucking crazy accusation. What the fuck? How do you fuck that up?
I'm going to set this record straight. Brandon did not know that Akumi at the time was a predator. Okay. He did not. Apparently, past me and that old incorrect statement believed that Brandon was actively working with a predator while knowing it. I can't believe I actually fucking said this and just let it in the video. This...
You know what? Props to actually owning up for your fucking mistake. You know what? Like, that was stupid of him to fucking do, but at least he's fucking, you know, I think it's a really... It's a testament to his character that he's owning up to it unprompted. Like, nobody would have called him out for that. He has no fucking subscribers and like he gets no views on his fucking shit. No offense if he's watching, right? But you know what? Props to you for actually owning up and like walking it back and calling attention to your past mistake. You know, good on you, dude.
Is fucking incorrect. Here is what I was supposed to say during that video, and also I would like to welcome our little special guest for this video. That is technically not a actual guest, but they are allowing me to use their footage for this section. So I want to thank Toastify.
Akumi VHS was featured on Brandon's channel.
Wait, he got direct permission from Toastify to do this? Wait, what?
For this video, that is technically not a actual guest, but they are allowing me to use their footage for this section.
Okay,
so
W. Well, that's crazy.
Akumi VHS was featured on Brandon's channel twice, the first being The Dark Side of VR, a video posted in May 2022, and one that has accumulated over 1 million views since being uploaded. The other video was in December 2022, titled Decoding the Martin Files. It has gotten almost 200,000 views. In both of these videos, Akumi is listed first as a collaborator and then as an actor.
It might be a little confusing as to why I'm playing this clip when it doesn't really prove that I'm wrong, and I'll explain why I am wrong right now. You see, Toastify's video came out after these videos were out, so in no possible way Brandon knew that Akumi and Elusid were the same person and that they did some really heinous shit. There is no way that Brandon would have ever known until this video came out. So I want to apologize to Brandon right now. Brandon, I'm really sorry that I said that fucked up shit. That's on me, and I really fucked up there. I promise I'll be more vigilant and just pay attention to my script from now on. This is really fucked up and embarrassing on my end. With that out of the way, I want to still talk about Elusid or Akumi VHS. and I do have some reasoning behind it. Akumi is still around. The question is to what extent, and I will be going into detail on what he's been doing thus far and to the present day. And I do want to talk about how Brandon did not respond to Toastify's DM. But how do I know this? Well, while editing this video, I actually went out of my way to email Toastify about this whole thing. But I feel like I'm going a bit ahead of myself. You probably don't even know who this sick fuck is. So I want to do some spark notes on who Elusid is and how he became Akumi VHS. Again, big shoutouts to Toastify for letting me use his footage. Let's talk about who Akumi really is. Once again, I want to say this right now, this will be the spark notes on who Elusid is. I might go a little fast on who Elusid is and how they became Akumi.
Fucking explain it!
I highly recommend you go watch Toastify's videos on Elusid. They go into way more detail than I will in this section. This video isn't about him, it's about Brandon. But I do want to go over who Elusid is and why they are
You already said that! You already fucking said that, dude. Okay,
so
come on.
Let's get into it.
Come on.
At one point online, Elusid was just like any of us. A kid online playing some games. Till he actually wanted to take YouTube serious and went to commentary. That's where he slowly started to gain more followers.
That's when
he
lost his soul.
A friend group. And then eventually something happened. A copyright strike put his channel into jeopardy. Luckily, the commentary community had his back, including John Swan. Thanks to the help of the commentary community, Elusid's YouTube account was saved from false copyright strike.
Elusid does sound familiar. Okay.
After some small drama, he actually continued on making some videos. That was until some allegations came out about him. Claims like sexual harassment and pedophilia were in these accusations, and these messages were with a 14-year-old, while at the time, Elusid was 19. Obviously, this is present day, but at that time, they were just allegations. But the commentary community, mainly small channels from the commentary community, were going way too far. Stuff like swatting and doxing happened to Elusid. And remember, these
Wait, what?
allegations. But the commentary community, mainly small channels from the commentary community, were going way too far. Stuff like swatting and doxing.
Is that fucking Spinling? Is that Spinling?
Doxing happened to Elusid.
Actually, to be fair, I think Spinling was a fucking minor at that time, but still fucking stupid.
Elusid. And remember, these were just allegations at the time. It also didn't help that people were still thinking about the whole Slazo situation. If you know, you know. We don't got time to cover Slazo. Thankfully for Elusid, at the time, Commentary Jesus John Swan once again came out to help Elusid by doing a live stream going over all the—
Don't call him Commentary Jesus, bro. Don't call him that. Don't call him that. He's more like Commentary Satan, okay?
The allegations that were against Elusid, all the evidence, everything. And by the end of the stream, the commentary community believed that Elusid was innocent. After everything with the live stream and the allegations, Elusid's career and life just kind of continued moving forward, and he got away with everything. At least for a while. You see, behind the scenes, Elusid was a really just shitty friend. Isolating his friends, making them choose sides, being manipulative, paranoid.
I don't care.
A lot of shit that really set them off. And also making them question him if he was really innocent. Then Elusid decided to go scorch earth by basically deleting everything and blocking all of his friends. Then after that, he just ran away as fast as he could. Not too long after, a commentary YouTuber by the name of LCDR Calvin would actually release a GitHub document on Elusid and all the DMs, basically proving that Elusid pretty much did this shit. Then for some fucking
the being a bad friend
reason, he decides to do a bit of trolling and says some really stupid shit and look, I'm just gonna let Toastify fucking just fucking listen to him.
Now, I criticize LCDR Calvin for the way he handled the Elusid situation through overcomplication and lack of familiarity, but at least he actually put the accusations out there and he didn't make a dumb diss track. Well, 9 months later, he published a Twitter thread admitting to making everything up in his GitHub.
I'm unironically coming out exposing the truth that I did bullshit everything in the Elusid document. Please do not attempt to use it as evidence. Pulled it off GitHub and it's no longer accessible. Okay, he is not a pedo. Everything in the document was fabricated. It was easy to fool everyone considering how tech illiterate most of the community is. The reason I did it was because no one in my friend group liked Elusid, and on top of that, wanted some attention. Please do not call him a pedophile because he is not. After all, why would you want to believe a document made by me? It's not like my reputation is reputable or anything. That's true.
Now, this is weird because we've already concluded and proven that Elusid's messages are real, so what is happening here? Well, DMs were leaked the following day that prove this is all an elaborate troll. Oh yeah, don't tell anyone, but I'm trying to piss as much people as I can. The Twitter thread is me being funny. Wait, so Elusid is a pedo? Yes, but don't tell anyone. Well, yeah.
Wait, what the
But like, no one is gonna know except you and Vilu. No, you are ruining the fucking troll. What are you doing? Let Elusid off the hook. So
I am so fucking confused, bro. I am so confused.
Why do this? Well, you have to understand the brains of these kinds of people. LCDR Calvin is a small commentator. He hasn't made it big, he has no morals or ethics or ties or credibility. He's a man who can fuck around because he has nothing to lose. And plus, he's gone on record and said he doesn't really care if Elusid is a pedophile because he can't really report him because he lives in the Middle East.
Here's the thing, I couldn't care less if he's a pedophile or like someone who children, because like, it doesn't concern me. No, here's the thing, it doesn't concern me. Why would it concern me? I can't do shit. I'm someone who lives in the Middle East. What would I do about it? Now, even if I made a police report, nothing is gonna happen to him.
So yeah, that's fucking spiffing, and also this happened while the fucking GitHub document was out.
Oh, that's where this came from.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Dude, I fucking okay. That's why that sound familiar, because that fucking stupid fucking song, dude.
Right. But surprisingly, during all of this, Elusid actually returned. He actually made a response, put it out there, released some videos, and then just disappeared, saying he'll never make content ever again to focus on real life stuff. Or was he even telling the truth? On October 7th, 2023, Toastify would actually make a video on Elusid called Unmasking Elusid, commentary's luckiest predator. He basically made a video.
Okay. I've seen this video. I've seen this. It's just the name. I knew the name was so fucking familiar. Okay, so he was an actual predator?
Story together, and after that, he moved on until December 30th, 2023, where he actually got more updates on Elusid, now becoming Akumi. Now, the video actually goes into more detail over some new information that was found, but the main thing I want to talk about is Elusid turning into Akumi. After his final response, people believed that Elusid just disappeared from the internet, never to return. Turns out, everybody was really wrong. He actually decided to rebrand into Akumi VHS, and wouldn't you know, he actually starred in 2 of Brandon's videos. Now, like I said before, Brandon would have no idea that this guy was a fucking predator. He would have no idea until the Toastify video came out. But I do think I need to talk about what he did in the videos. So let's quickly start with the dark side of VR. I'm going to make this quick. In the dark side of VR, Brandon and Akumi actually go after a different individual by the name of Lizmatic. Now, to be fair to Brandon, this section I think is actually really good. No matter how much this guy wants to defend himself, because spoilers, he's actually made a video, but I ain't watching it. This guy is absolutely a freak. He admits to doing this shit. This weird slavery shit. Like, it's genuinely fucking disturbing. This guy is just, what the fuck? And Akumi, probably following a script, I'm just gonna put this fucking image on screen. You get it? I can't help but laugh, though, when Akumi is speaking about any of this shit, because this is the equivalent of the pot calling the kettle black. The irony of it is just through the roof. It's just... God, it's amazing. Predator? And then the other video, decoding the Martin files. Nothing too big other than him being an actor in the video, but do keep this video in mind. It will be important later on. Anyways, let's get back to Toastify's video. After these videos came out, Akumi's old friends would actually come out of the woodworks and actually expose him for being Elusid, and then shortly after, deleting everything and not saying a single word. Then Toastify made his video on the updates, and then the case kind of went cold turkey. Now I actually have to introduce myself into the story. Not because I worked with Toastify or I talked to Elusid or anything, but for this video I actually wanted to dig deep into Elusid and where they are today. And, well, I have. You see, originally back then, when Toastify released his video on Akumi or Elusid, I didn't really pay it too much attention. At this time, I didn't really want to make a Brandon video, so I just kind of said whatever. However, due to this video now being in production and, well, editing as is right now, I've been paying more attention to Elusid or Akumi, but I'll just call him Akumi from now on. Akumi never went anywhere. You see, after his video, he never left.
Yeah.
Sort of.
I figured.
He's still around, however, he's not so active, mainly because people have forgotten this story, like Toastify has said before. A lot of people have forgotten Akumi and who he really is, but there is evidence out there that he is still, well, him, a danger to the community. I would like to go over some of the evidence that I have for this case, because in Akumi's genius that knows no bounds, he actually makes it really easy to find out that it's still Elusid behind the account. Very easily. This is all public evidence, by the way. He is so blatant to know that it's him still that he doesn't try to hide it anymore. It's because people think that we have forgotten. No, I still know it's you, you sick fuck. So don't worry, let me show everyone that you're still Elusid. It might not be a lot of evidence, but it's enough evidence to make me convinced that you're Elusid and that you're a freak. So let's get into it. Let's go over the small evidence. The evidence that to me really does say that it's him, but he's not saying it out loud. See, in the comments of his video that he made called VR Chat's Darkest Corners, he actually responds to a lot of comments that actually imply that it's him, that he sounds familiar. To me, I think it's pretty obvious that, well, it's him, because he's trying to basically slightly nudge that, yeah, it's me, but don't say it out loud. Now, obviously...
Wait, what? Oh my god, wait, what?
It's familiar. To me, I think it's pretty obvious that...
Well, the voice sounds familiar. I've heard that somewhere before. Hi, Ember.
Well, it's him, because he's trying to basically slightly nudge that, yeah, it's me, but don't say it out loud. Now, obviously, that evidence alone is kind of meh. But don't worry, I have something that really does prove that it's him. Something that is pretty unarguable that he's still around in this community. So here you go. On Brandon's recent video on VRChat called Exposing a VRChat Developer, in the comments on Twitter, because he made a Twitter post about the video coming out, Akumi, in all of his genius, comments, you know, this stuff, including somebody that went after him for being Elusid, so here you go. Knew this was coming. Glad to see you call them out for it. Elusid, leave the VRC investigation space. Your presence only damages the space's credibility. Fuck off. Then he links the Tosify video on him.
Wait, Spray? I've seen this guy before. This guy's been in my chat before, lol.
If you genuinely believe that, you're ignoring context and the work I've actually been trying to do for the space behind the scenes. The context of you engaging with a 14-year-old while you were 19 kind of distracts from any help you could bring to the table. And if your private contributions are the bulk of your work, then maybe don't publicly attach yourself to other investigators and put their credibility at risk. And in all of Akumi's genius and just logic, the way he gets...
Wait, so that is weird though. Wait, what was his initial comment? I knew this was coming. Glad to see you called them out. This was under Brandon's post. Okay.
Bulk of your work, then maybe don't publicly attach yourself to other investigators and put their credibility at risk. And in all of Akumi's genius and just logic, the way he gets rid of this evidence is by deleting his comments on this post. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Elusid, without a doubt in my mind. Somebody who has been trying to hide the fact that he did this shit with a 14-year-old. Isn't that great that he's just still around? Yeah, I am just so happy to. And yes, he is still active, especially on Twitter. Now, not as active as he was probably before, but he's still active. He's got plans for a new video. He's talking about Childish Gambino's Yoshi. He's talking about a lot of things for his new VRC project. He is even active outside of Twitter. Recently, Brand released a new...
Why did you just show those videos or those comments? Like that's obviously okay. Whatever, dude.
New video that I will talk about a little bit later in the video, but it won't
this
be
Uber driver killed 49
he actually
people.
Has a Kickstarter for a movie that he's going to make in the future. And look who is backing up one of his tiers. Obviously, this doesn't mean Brandon endorses him. I would hope so. But this does mean that Elusid is still active. So yes.
It's very weird that of all people, he's under Brandon's shit. I will say that's weird. That is a little weird. Like of all the commentary people, of all the commentators, he's under Brandon's shit. It's a little odd.
Akumi, or Elusid, is still active, and the potential of him ruining the credibility of people and just communities in general is, in my opinion, high. This guy is still a danger to minors, in my own opinion. Never taking accountability and running away like nothing ever happened. And then an idea sparked in my head. To keep it short, I actually wanted to reach out to Tosify about all of this stuff with Akumi and Brandon. So, one day I actually made an email and I sent it out to him. And I asked him about 5 questions, which I'll read out to you right now. Okay. 1. Did Brandon ever respond to your DMs on Twitter? If yes, what did he say? Or can you send them over if you can? 2. Elusid is still out there. Do you still believe they pose a threat? 3. Why do you think Brandon hasn't made the situation public even with all the evidence out there in the public? 4. Do you believe
he should? I think Brandon should call attention to that. He's like, hey, one of the people that I was working with on some of these videos turned out to be a fucking predator. Lol. I didn't know, obviously. And I've cut all ties with him, blah blah blah. Like he should announce at least, like, hey, I've cut ties with this guy, by the way. Like
if Elusid is still participating in investigations that it could damage the investigations as a whole. 5. Is there anything you want to say about Elusid and Brandon? A couple days later, Toastified actually reached out to me and answered my questions. So I'm just going to read the entire statement. So let's get into it. Hey, thanks for the email. Sorry for the late reply. I've been down with a fever. I'm down to answer all your questions. Also, you can absolutely use clips of my videos to support your points. That's fine by me as long as it's not taken out of context or whatever. Side note, Toastify, if I did, just let me know. Sorry about that. No, 1. Brandon hasn't responded to my DMs since I sent them back in 2023. The message is still stuck on sent, so it's likely he might not have even seen it yet. But I do remember that people were publicly tagging him on Twitter about it as well. I'm not sure how active he is on Twitter overall. 2.
That is so weird. That is so weird. Okay, so you leave, I mean, Toastify is a big creator. It is a bit weird that you left him on red. But also, to be fair to Brandon, he's not very active on Twitter. He's not very active on Twitter. You could go see his account right now. He's not very active. Wait, hold on. Actually, I didn't see the replies on his Twitter, actually. He could be just replying to a bunch of people. But Brandon's not active on Twitter, so maybe he genuinely did not see it. Wait, no, but he said left on red. He said left on red, right?
Sent, so it's likely he might not have even seen them back in 2023. The message is still stuck on sent, so it's
okay, still stuck on sent.
Likely as well. I'm not sure how active he is on Twitter overall. 2. I think it's pretty evident that a guy with a history of Elusid.
I mean, he replied on March 3rd. He replied to somebody on March 3rd, and his last tweet was on November 28th of like 2025. So he was tweeting a little bit around October of the release of his video. Yeah, no, he's not active. He is not active on his Twitter. I don't know if that changed at all, or it seems like he only really comes to Twitter when he's got something to shill, or whatchamacallit. Yeah, no, he's not active at all. He is not active at all. So, I mean, yeah, maybe he just genuinely doesn't know, but, like, he should, like, you know, there should be some kind of confirmation on Brandon's end. Like, yeah, I've been made aware of this Akumi person, yeah, like, I'm cutting him off. Like,
it's not only messaging a minor, but being manipulative to others when being confronted on it. Probably shouldn't be handling cases of sexual abuse in any context. Elusid's
what happened?
Guy with a history of Elusid's not only messaging a minor, but being manipulative to others when being confronted on it. Probably shouldn't be handling cases of sexual abuse in any context. Elusid's perception of what abuse should be taken seriously will be wrapped by his past actions, and he may leave disgusting things out that to him seem normal. Plus, Elusid has no remorse and has yet to issue an apology to the girl he messaged. He is in full denial to this day. 3. I'm not sure why. The thing is, Brandon doesn't even have to make a big song and dance out of it.
Sure.
The Akumi VHS channel had like 500 subscribers and the evidence is already out there, compiled into another video. But a note or a community post clarifying that he's not associated would probably be good enough.
Dude, that's what I just said,
dude. And informs others. Of course, this is all based on an assumption that Brandon already knows and would naturally be disgusted. If he's still collabing with Elusid/Akumi to this day, that would mean that he either doesn't know or he knows and doesn't care.
Yeah, that's why you should make a public announcement saying, I don't fuck with this guy anymore. Thank you for letting me know.
Or Elusid whisper lies in his ear. 4. Absolutely. If you have a groomer on your pedo investigation team, your entire investigation will be significantly discredited. The levels to which would be discredited depends on whether Brandon knows about Elusid's past, but either way, even at the most generous view, some retroactive suspicion will inevitably land on those videos. 5. Not really. I think I've said pretty publicly all that I feel needs to be said about Elusid. I'm not really sure about Brandon and would not like to jump to conclusions with what we have right now, but I expect that he's been made aware and made proper measures, or that he doesn't know and should be duly informed. Good luck with your video. And with the
it's been thrown. It seemingly has been thrown into his face. Well, there is no confirmation. So, to be fair to Brandon, there is no confirmation that he knows Akumi is a fucking predator.
Email, there was an image of Toastify in Brandon's DMs, with Brandon not responding to Toastify to this day. Elusid or Akumi is still out there, and they still have the potential to bring harm to minors. This story sucks overall. The justice that he deserved has never been delivered since the day he got caught, and it plagues a community that I love to be a part of.
I mean,
even if
this guy is making a.
I do hope that Brandon is not collabing with this guy, because that would just fucking suck. And I overall just hope he made the right decisions.
Yeah, good.
I don't know if he ever
for
did,
calling attention to
because
it,
he's never made this public. I've looked everywhere, nothing from Brandon about Elusid other than his collab videos. That's it. And a little message to Elusid, because I know you're probably watching this. Release your video. I do not care if you do. Just remember, everyone here knows what the fuck you did. I want everyone to know that you're still a gigantic piece of shit that should be off the internet forever. And people will be watching. I'll be watching. So, you have fun out there. And once again, huge shout out to Toastify for even reading my email and answering it. Seriously, it means so much to me, and I really do appreciate you. Alright, I've had enough talking about this fucking creep. I want to get back to more Brandon stuff. With this next chapter, I want to talk about how just overall cryptic he has to be in his videos, and a certain video
is a bit pretentious.
That just rubs me the wrong way. So let's get into it. Brandon has a very unique problem when it comes to his YouTube videos. It's not his script, it's not his video shots, it's his editing. I'm mainly talking about the cryptic and mysterious stuff that he puts in his videos. That's not to say that that kind of editing style isn't good or has no right to be on YouTube. They fit very well in different kinds of YouTube videos. Like, let's say analog horror, ARGs, story videos, you know, those kind of videos, that editing style would fit perfectly in. The problem for me is that he uses those kinds of edits during serious videos. Stuff like pedophilia and sexual abuse and other kinds of stuff.
Well, here, like my defense of Brandon here, is that all go on Netflix and look at like any fucking serious documentary about fucked up shit. They do the same stuff. It's the same shit, right? It's not any different. It's just people have a different expectation when it comes to YouTube videos, right? And I don't think there's anything wrong with like making a video about a serious topic entertaining, right? Like the criticism should be like, is Brandon being tone deaf or not? You know, with like how he's making the video entertaining. Is it tone deaf, right? That should be what we should be focusing on.
That he talks about. He uses that kind of stuff when you really shouldn't be. When it comes to those topics, in my personal opinion, you play your cards straight. You don't hold them or you hide them. You play them straight. Or you don't mention them at all. Yet, Brandon has this very weird thing that he does. I'll go over some points that I have starting now. A video that suffers very heavily from this issue is Mystery of a VRChat Predator. There are so many points in this video that are just unnecessarily cryptic and mysterious. This video has so many problems with it, so I want to go over it. I would like to remind everyone that Straybound is actually a predator, that this is all real, but he decided to do this cryptic and mysterious editing in it. I don't know why, but yeah, he did. The intro of this video with how Belly Bell reached out to Brandon is just so, I hate to say it, but it feels so, like, unreal. I understand that she was a minor when she reached out to Brandon and probably didn't know how to tell him properly. The problem is, it just feels so just like it's made to be a story, not a real case. I think that's a big problem if you're starting a video out like this, like an ARG. This isn't an ARG, this is an actual problem. A recurring bit in the video is someone interviewing everybody in the video with a deep, mysterious voice changer. Now, obviously, maybe I'm nitpicking. Maybe this is not a big deal, but it's starting to lead more into an ARG.
You cannot prefer it. You cannot prefer it, right? That's totally fine. You could think it's like, it's a bit gauche. Is that the right word? Gauche? It's a bit gauche to do. But I don't think, as long as Brandon isn't being tone deaf about it, and it's like the stuff being talked about in the video is factual, then I just personally I don't care, you know.
Real. It feels fake and fabricated, not something based in reality. This whole thing goes up until the very end of the video. It feels very unnecessary to even have in a video like this. I don't know why he decided this was a good idea in the video, but he just did it anyways. Something that weirdly baffles me, and maybe, again, this isn't really a big deal, but it's just weird, was to add Amori, like a mini Amori review. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that Amori is a bad game.
He did do that. I fucking remember that. Like, it was like the girl was like leading Brandon on like some kind of fucking like weird ARG thing, and he's like made him play the game Amori to like understand and decrypt what the fuck she was saying. It was like really that I think that is criticizable in the sense it's like that it's totally not necessary, right? If you're going to have like stylish edits or, you know, some kind of like artistic sort of thing in a video about a serious topic and like a real issue, it should be brief. It should be brief. It should not be like a whole ass fucking thing, you know? And I say this as someone who I did do that. It was fucking stupid of me to do. For my fucking Cryptic pasta video, but you know, I will never do it ever again. Okay,
pretty good game from what I've seen. I also understand that Belly Bell in the video was very, very attached to Amori. She has a lot of things that she can relate to in the game, but I don't understand why he even added this in the first place. I don't think we need a rundown on Amori as a game to understand what Belly's problem is. Besides, he never even finishes the game. I don't even think he beat 25%.
Besides, motherfucker didn't even beat the game. He didn't even do the whole bit. This fucking little shit
of the game. He just kind of plays it, talks about it, and then just, like, stops.
We're talking about Mama Max. It's a bit Mama Maxy, yeah. It's a bit Mama Maxy. But again, like, not to the extent where, like, Mama Max was, like, objectively lying about catching some of these fucking guys, right? And even some of the guys were also seemingly made up, too. Like, it was really fucking stupid what he was doing, right? But, like, just the edgy, artistic shit. It's just like it's been so poisoned by Mama Max, honestly, but it's technically not inherently a bad thing. It's just like, I don't know, like as long as the information in the video is factual and you're sending the information to the authorities before your video comes out, it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's not everyone's
There is
cup
a good
of tea,
reason
okay?
why. It's because Belly did a 180 on talking to Brandon about this stuff, so I can understand why, but it just feels like he did this part only for more runtime in the video. Maybe that's just me though, I don't know. And the big one for me in this video was actually the up and coming. This one is so comically stupid that I can't tell if this is actually just a bit. You see, Brandon and his friend—
Oh, this, yeah, no. Well, no, in defense of Brandon, he used this to bait an interview with the Predator, right? To sort of like, you know, pressure him or like, you know, I mean, this was never going to fucking work. This was never going to work. I mean, they did get him in an interview, but as soon as they started confronting him about why he was messaging children online and being a fucking disgusting freak, he immediately like leaves the call. He immediately leaves the call. But I mean, I would say that's a little damning. It's like, okay, what are you running from, motherfucker? What are you running from, bitch? Right? Like, it's not entirely useless. It's just like, it's a bit unnecessary, but I mean, what the fuck ever, right?
One, to make a fake YouTube channel to get Straybound to answer some questions and then drop a big bomb on him with the evidence that they have, that Belly gave him. Guys, you have the evidence, give it to the fucking authorities, or just give it to the fucking moderators. I know I talked about this part back when I was, you know, in the earlier chapters, but Jesus Christ, they have the evidence. This almost feels like a really, really shitty bit. That's what it feels like. This whole channel is a sting operation that would never get somebody thrown in prison probably. Jesus fucking Christ. It genuinely feels like an elaborate bit, like Brandon knew Straybound. He doesn't, I just want to make that clear. He doesn't, but it really feels like this is a bit, not something real. This is almost as comical as Minecraft SMPs. That's what we're talking about here. This is what it, like it baffles me. Genuine baffling. Getting back on track, they do get this interview, and wouldn't you know, he doesn't want to answer anything and he leaves. I just can't wrap my head around.
He like sits there in dead silence as they fucking ask him like, why did you message this fucking child? And he fucking like leaves, dude. Holy shit, dude. I mean, like, again, there's also been documentaries where they did shit like that. There's the furry detectives. They interviewed Caro. And they were confronting him on the fucking shit that he did, right? Like, and you know, Caro basically got away with it because, you know, they were like literally, I think, a month late. They were like a month or a day late to send evidence, like, or not send evidence. They when people were figuring out what happened and they found evidence of Caro raping his dog and shit, by the time they sent the evidence to the police, it was too late. It was too late. The statute of limitations expired and he couldn't be charged for it. Even if Kara the Wolf like admitted it, they wouldn't be able to charge him for it. So, yup. But yeah, like, I think it's fine. I think this bit's fine. This bit's fine. It's a little unnecessary, but it like you're confronting the fucking predator or whatever the fuck, and like internet grooming and shit like that. Like, cops don't usually pursue that kind of shit. You still should be sending what you have anyways to law enforcement. You still be doing that anyways. But if you want to confront the fucking guy and like fucking milk an interview out of him to put in your YouTube video, then fine. Is bro cooked? I would say there are pressing criticisms of Brandon. Fuck, what was his name? Dude, Ace, you probably know who this fucking guy is. Elusid. Did you know Brandon worked with fucking Elusid? Now, to be fair, Brandon worked with Elusid when Elusid was going by Akari, or whatever the fuck his name, not Akari, Akumi. Yeah, Akumi. So Brandon didn't know, but it's been a hot minute and Brandon hasn't said anything, and he left Toastify. He didn't even read Toastify's DM message warning him. Elusid. Yeah, fucking Brandon worked with Elusid and he hasn't fucking responded to anybody pointing that out. It's like, Brandon, this is Elusid. What are you doing? You know.
And why they just didn't give it to the proper.
Did you know that Omega asked his found dad if it was okay to talk to Kara the Wolf, and he swept for Kara? That's fucking crazy. Found dad? That's stupid.
People. I know, very, very low time, but I don't think you need an interview with.
Also, what else is there? The unfounded claims. I mean, the start of this video was really stupid and pointless, like just a fucking giant waste of time. But there are some good points in here, some good criticisms from this guy. Runners. What is this one? Runners of what? Runners of the night. I mean, Brandon is a little fucking chopped, but I mean, nothing career ruining just yet.
The fucking predator. If you have the evidence, send it to the fucking authorities.
Oh yeah. I remember. Brandon had to be pressured by people to send information to the police. That was fucking ridiculous. That was fucking stupid. That was one thing that did happen, because he left a comment on one of his videos trying to justify why he didn't send the information to the police, right? But then the next video later, he said, yeah, I sent the information to the police. So like, you had to be pressured after the release of the video to send information. That's crazy. That is crazy, dude. Like, if that has to happen, you should probably like hang up the coat. You know, that is fucking ridiculous.
It's really stupid, and it really leads into, is this really justice or is this for views? It's one of them. I can't tell which. You can't have both of them.
It could be. Oh yeah, you could be both.
Eat it. No, anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about for this video. I'm sure there are many more problems within this video and the other videos he has made, but I actually want to focus on a different video that is not about VR chat. It's about something a lot more disturbing and actually just extremely dark, and something that shouldn't be made into this certain video. I would like to talk about decoding the Martin files and why it is objectively—
Oh, this fucking video. I know this video. It's gonna be so chopped, bro. It's gonna be so chopped that I admit this. That video was what inspired me to do the dumb fucking thing in my Cryptic video. To do like the fake story to like lure in people, to, you know, lure in a certain audience to expose them to like some fucking guy that I hate or some shit, right? Like, or is like a dangerous predator. So fucking stupid. It is a bit ridiculous. Like Brandon basically he creates his own like fake story, ARG type thing, and then towards the end of the video he's like, by the way, this is like about a real guy. This was about a real guy. Our principal at the school that I used to go to was a pedophile, and he got like arrested or something like that. I just wanted to make this YouTube video kind of like doing an ARG surrounding him, like, or something, dude. It was fucking
terrible video, and it really makes me question: did he do it for views or for justice and getting information out there?
Well, the guy was already arrested. The guy was already he was fucking charged, if I recall correctly. He was straight up charged. Like he went to fucking prison.
Let's talk about decoding the Martin files. I'm going to say this one more time. This video is objectively terrible. With what the subject is about, it's a terrible video and should have never been made into what it is today. Decoding the Martin Files is an analog horror series that Brandon made in one video. And you're not going to believe it, but the main person in the video is a predator. There is a problem with this, however. This person, Brian Martin, was an actual real-life predator inside of a school that he ran, that he lived in, right in the middle of it. This objectively is a terrible thing that he has made.
It's fucking dumb. It's dumb on paper, right? Like, it's a little pretentious way of, you know, of storytelling with like using true crime. This is the difficult thing, even with documentaries covering true crime. Like, there is a balancing act of entertainment and, you know, respecting the victims and, you know, all that kind of shit. Like, I know, like, this guy would love to live in a world, and I would love to live in a world where, you know, you could just make a video calling some guy out and it get like a bajillion views and the guy get fucking like struck by lightning or some shit. Okay. Like, I would love to live in that world, but like, we live in a world that is dominated by entertainment, and people only care about shit because it's entertaining to them. Okay. I don't think it's inherently wrong or takes away from a video talking about a serious topic or talking about real people committing real crimes and putting it in an entertaining way, in an entertaining sense, right? But there's a line drawn, you know, that doesn't excuse you being tone deaf or anything like that. But I think it's fine on paper to make things entertaining. Yeah.
He is basing an analog horror on a real-life situation that happened and using it for a video. Now, to clarify...
But also, to be fair to Brandon, he was personally affected. Now, he wasn't groomed or fucking raped by this fucking guy. But, like, that was his principle. That was his fucking principle. This was someone that he used to trust, that he looked up to at one point, right? So, it's not like he's totally detached from the situation. This is something that's personal to him, right? So, in a sense, it's his own personal story, and like, who are you to dictate to him how he should tell this story, right? Like, he's, you know, he wasn't one of the, he wasn't one of the victims per se, but like, he was personally affected, right? And I you know, on paper, it's fine to do some storytelling with true crime stuff. I mean, like, to an extent, I would argue, like, I don't know, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre being loosely based off of the Ed Gein's killings. You know, like, that kind of shit. Like, is that disrespectful to the victims of Ed Gein? Right? Like, is Texas Chainsaw Massacre taking away from what they went through? I don't think so. Right? You know, there is a good way to do that. There is an okay, you know, morally ambiguous way to do that.
Brandon was going to that school as well when he was younger, and the events that happened, I believe, took place when he was in school. Thankfully, nothing bad ever happened to him at the school. From what he said, he enjoyed his time there and it was a pretty good school. However, there were actual people at that school that were preyed upon by Brian Martin. And what does Brandon do? He decides to make a fucking analog horror out of it. He does have a reason as to why he made it the way he did. Here, I'll let him tell you his reasoning.
Basically, the story of Mr. Martin and the school he owned is a story that I've really wanted to tell for a long time. However, if I sat here and just talked to you for 20 minutes, then no one's gonna listen.
See, but that's true. That is true. This is what I'm talking about. This is the defense. This is unironically a defense for why why it's technically okay for Brandon. Like, when you say what he did out loud, it sounds fucking retarded, right? But like, there's nothing inherently wrong with that idea or that concept, right? Like, using, you know, storytelling, you know, devices to get people interested in a story and then revealing, by the way, this shit actually fucking happened, right? Like, nobody would have known about that story otherwise had you not have made it so dramatic, you know?
So, I decided that if I wanted to tell this story, I had to find a way to make people care. That's when I had the idea to partner up with a talented analog horror enthusiast / extremely talented VFX artist to create the Martin Files, which would tell the entire story through creepy old found footage, taking inspiration from the Walton Files, the Backrooms, Petscop, etc. All the classics.
Well, yes. Also this isn't Petscop technically based off of a real thing too? Like there was a real case that is even, I think, even directly referred to in Petscop. And that was the thing that actually happened. Obviously the haunted fucking video game shit isn't real, but like, you know, like the there was a girl who was actually, you know, killed accidentally by a therapy group who were like being reckless or whatever. Like they had some weird esoteric way of, you know, using like therapy for this like girl, and it accidentally killed her, right? Is that disrespectful? Is Petscop disrespectful to the victims? Like, probably not, right? If anything, like, again, the theatrics and the dramatization of things makes it so more people are paying attention to this, more eyes are on it, and more people are now made aware of that kind of situation, right? More people like I don't, it's not inherently like a wrong thing.
Reasoning is that he thinks it would be boring to talk for 20 minutes about a story about a predator.
No, hold on, you're putting fucking words in his mouth. That's not what he said. He said nobody would care, and that is true. That is true. If Brendan FM came out with a video saying like, oh yeah, my high school professor or not high school professor, my high school fucking principal was a child predator, and that like kind of traumatized me or some shit, you know, and here's what he did, and this is so fucked up. Anyways, end of the video, bye guys. Like that nobody would fucking give a shit. That sounds cruel as fuck to say out loud, but that's just fucking true. No one would fucking care, right? When you dramatize it, you make it interesting to people, they start paying attention. That's just true. There's that awful movie that was basically Jonestown movie with the names changed. Like, the movie felt disrespectful. Yeah, there is a right and a wrong way to do it. Yeah, 100%. There is a right and a wrong way to do it.
Makes an analog horror out of it. That statement alone has got to be one of the most dystopian things I've ever heard in my life.
That's reality. That's reality. Yeah, it's dystopian. Yeah, welcome to the real world. It sucks. It sucks that people genuinely don't fucking give a shit. We just don't live in that fucking world where people will give their undivided attention to a story being given straight rip. You know, we don't live in that fucking world. Things get dramatized. Things, like, if you want people to pay attention or even especially remember people who have passed away or died or were victimized, like, a good way to do that, a reliable way to do that, is give them a fucking story to remember. You know, it's just true. That's just true.
Boring to tell a story about a real situation that happened in real life and then just to make it into an analog horror. Real victims were hurt. Real victims lost their innocence due to this man. And Brandon's solution is to tell that story as an analog horror. Do you see why I have a hard time believing that Brandon doesn't just do this for justice or to get information out there? I find it hard to believe because I think
I could believe
he's doing it.
I could believe it. Because I know in my heart, when I made that Creasewhip Pasta video, I didn't make it for the fucking views necessarily. I made it because I fucking hated Creasewhip Pasta. I hated him for what he fucking did to people. And I think it's fucking disgusting as fuck that he got away with it. And I wanted attention on that video. I wanted people to be made aware, right? I was very desperate to get people to pay attention. And, you know, I did it in a fucking retarded way, you know, and I that's not going to be the last time I fucking try and tell that fucking story. I'm going to try again in the future. But, you know, like, I didn't do it for the fucking views. I did it because, like, that story genuinely bothered me and I wanted people to be made aware about it, right? But, and again, like, the way you get people to pay attention is by dramatizing things, you know?
For the money, too. Mainly for the money. Who thinks of this? Who in their right mind thinks of using a real-life situation that hurt kids, that ruined lives, and to use it for a YouTube video and an analog horror series. Brandon should genuinely be ashamed of himself for making this video and thinking it'd be a good idea. There have been hundreds, if not thousands of videos talking about predators in real life, but they have done it in a respectful way, in a way that is clearly not for views and clicks, for they see a story that should be told in a proper and respectful way.
Your own logic basically says all documentaries should be free. But tell a documentarian, hey, make your shit for free and don't make any money off of it. Spend a couple $1,000s. Not a couple $1,000s. Who the fuck am I kidding? Some of these documentaries cost like $40,000 to fucking make. Yeah, just spend that out of pocket. You're not going to convince anybody, and at that point, no one's going to hear the story. No one's going to hear the story. No one's going to hear how these people suffered. Nobody's going to know their story. Nobody's going to know their fucking tale. And these victims get victimized, and it just gets forgotten. Lost to time. Do you want that? Do you want to live in that reality? I don't want to live in that reality. I would like it if people who were genuinely victimized by shit have their stories be remembered as cautionary tales in the back of people's brains and stuff like that, you know. Again, there is a right and a wrong way to do it. It's not inherently wrong to like do stuff for views or do stuff for money necessarily, right? Now, that shouldn't just be the one and only thing that you care about if you're making shit like that. You should care about the victims to some extent. You should care about their feelings to some extent, right? You should be sensitive to some extent, okay? But it's not inherently wrong. I don't like this phrasing where like it's inherently wrong to do this.
Do not believe Brandon has this respect for this kind of stuff. And it really does suck to see somebody like him do something this low. Decoding the Martin Files was made back in 2022. Now, I can already hear people making excuses for Brandon. He was younger back then. It was 3 years ago. I have a counter to this. You see, analog horror was in its heights back then, around that time frame. Now, maybe not at its peak, but it was definitely still very, very popular. So I think, in my personal opinion, Brandon made this whole thing because analog horror was still popping off, and he did it for the views. I wish not to talk about this subject anymore, for it's just really upsetting to me. If you want to learn more about Brian Martin, I highly recommend you just look it up yourself on Google or anywhere else. And I don't recommend you watch Brandon's video on it, or it's just disrespectful to the real victims of the situation.
Don't fucking say that shit, because I don't believe like who the fuck are you to speak for these people? You don't even know them. At least Brandon probably knew some of these fucking people, considering he went to the same fucking school. Okay? Like, this is another thing too. Don't try and speak for the fucking victims. Okay? Don't try and speak for them. You don't speak for them. You don't know how they feel. You don't know what's going on through their minds. Let them speak for themselves. Let them come out and speak for themselves. Right? You know? Just try and avoid doing that.
I'm going to go off script for just a bit here because I do want to sit down and talk to everyone here for this beginning part of the chapter. So I had to sit down really, really hard and think about what I'm going to say because this chapter, like, alone is very complicated and confusing. There are many moving parts in this chapter, many accusations, and overall a lot of disgusting things. This is the part of the video where I have to be very kind of careful in case a lawsuit ever comes up. There's a certain disgusting topic that I do sadly have to talk about. That is mainly because Brandon does mention it and use it as an allegation towards the developers and mods of VRChat. I'm really not...
This was the video that I yet to watch. I've been told to fucking watch it, bruh. Okay, so I'm probably gonna get it fucking spoiled. I probably should watch it on its own, but I mean, what the fuck ever, dude. Right, like this was the one. This is his most recent video where he made allegations against the devs of VRChat. I don't know the veracity of it.
Fucking happy I have to even talk about it. I find it just repulsing that this is even a topic that was made in the video. Not because they're not, but mainly because I genuinely find it disgusting. This is a content warning for the topic, Lolicon. Yeah, we're just going downhill from here. If you know that this topic will genuinely make you very upset,
The what? Wait, same circle at the time during the Creepypasta Vincent Martin Mr. Creepypasta? Vincent Martin. I don't think you're thinking of Vincent Martin. I think you're thinking of Vincent Venicava. Vincent Venicava. I think I can't remember if Vincent Venicava did anything creepy to a kid. I think he was just kind of like a piece of shit to people. Like, and that was kind of it. Like, it's like a whatever thing. I don't think he was creepy. I know it was Creeps. It was Mr. Creepypasta and allegedly Creepypasta Jr. Wait, no. There was no. I almost forgot. That fucking guy, Creepypasta Jr., like reposted on his Tumblr blog NSFW fucking drawings of people that he knew and were friends with, and the artists and some of the people that were drawn were minors. Okay, so you're chopped, buddy. You're chopped.
I understand if you leave the video. I want to make my stance very clear on how
Old Man
I feel
Murphy,
about
yeah,
Lolicon.
Murphy. To be fair, I don't know if Murphy. The most that I've heard is Murphy was creepy to women, but they were of age women in the circle. I don't know if he was creepy to any of the kids that were in the Creepypasta like Skype chats or whatever the fuck. I know objectively, Mr. Creepypasta is weird as fuck. He sent panties to a fucking 16-year-old girl when he was 25. That's disgusting as shit. He was also pretty flirty with a 17-year-old at the time. He did. Let me see if this is fucking still public. Let me see. It's on his fucking second channel. Mr. Creepypasta, like gaming. It's a gaming channel. What's his second channel? What's your second channel? Mr. Creepypasta second channel. He did a duet with this fucking minor, dude. Very fucking weird. It was with Kitten Reads Horror. Very fucking weird relationship that he had with that fucking person. And then obviously Creepypasta objectively pedophile. Like he's had several intensely inappropriate sexual interactions with people that he knew were fucking minors. Creep. Disgusting. Weirdo. Freak. Pedophile. Self-directing me? Oh. To imply sliding scale of creepiness. Anyways, a streamer named Miss Shadow Lovely. I know Miss Shadow Lovely. I know of Miss Shadow Lovely. I don't know her. But yeah, Miss Shadow Lovely. Yeah, Miss Shadow Lovely was like she was around when some of this stuff was going down. I wouldn't doubt she was a witness to it. I mean, it happened all the fucking time. Like these people were like openly minors, and like people were being flirty and disgusting to them. So I mean, that was in the public. I can only imagine how fucking bad the Skype chats were. I'm so glad I left Creepypasta stuff when I did. I liked Mr. Creepypasta. There's not enough for me to say that he's a pedophile per se. He's definitely like very, very fucking weird. Very fucking weird. Went to a con to see him. Yeah. Sorry for the derail. No, yeah, that's fine. Dude, I'll take any fucking derail if it's about Creepypasta.
Speaking, I think Lolicon is a pipeline to pedophilia.
Okay,
the main thing with Lolicon is putting basically a fictional children into these fucking gross scenarios. You can guess what it is. It is rape. Fucking repulsive, and I do generally think people that are really into it need to have their hard drives like checked immediately, because you're going to tell me that you're not into this stuff. You're not into seeing these fictional kids be put into these very just gross situations. Like, are we serious? I think this topic is worse because
it's
in
just
certain
drawings.
Places, it is illegal.
Don't ask me drawings of
and
what. I'm not going to answer that question.
It's not illegal from what I understand. It is this really fucking gross middle ground. Dude, I fucking looked it up on Google, and Google said fucking get help. Like, I'm not even kidding. Now, obviously, there's a difference between liking a character because you like the character as, you know, a character, and liking that character because you find them appealing in a fucking gross way. The best example that I can give is Megumin from Konosuba. They're funny, they have explosives, you know, they're a cool character. Now, a lolicon would think, you know, really gross shit.
Why are we on this?
You can fucking picture it.
Why are we on this?
So yeah, that's just kind of what I want to say for the section. Okay. I just feel like I had to. So, yeah. This chapter will be long, so get ready for a very, very long chapter of complicated stuff and questions. To begin this section, I would like to talk about everybody who is involved in this chapter. So let's begin with the first person being Brandon. Obviously, by now you should know who he is. We have Verum, another VRChat Predator Hunter that I will make a video on eventually. For the mods, we have Sitbox, somebody who is an active Discord moderator in the VRChat Discord. FPaul, who is basically the same deal as Sitbox. For the devs, although I don't think this person is actually a dev or in that section, but he's definitely very important, so I'm going to put him here. We have Tupper. Oh, poor Tupper. The community's punching bag. And I can see why, and I'll talk about that later. Fusel, who is the lead engineer for VRChat. And then the big boys, the founders of VRChat, Graham Gaylor and Jesse Judry. And with that, now you know every single person who will be in this chapter. So, what I'm going to do is go through every single person one at a time. So, let's begin with the one who gives me the biggest headache, that being Sitbox. And hey, just because I know eventually I might have to save my ass in case of a lawsuit or anything bad, just a reminder that these are all allegations. Nothing has been proven true as of now, so please remember that. Sitbox is the main subject of the disturbing world of VRChat. Without a doubt, he is one of the most controversial members of the VRChat team. The main topic about Sitbox is the obvious question: are they a predator or not? It is a question that has been in the back of my mind and many others for a long time. So today, we're going to try our best to figure out if he really is a predator or not, because that is the big question. Without a doubt in my mind, I do think Sitbox is an absolute freak that should not be on the moderation team. He is somebody who tries to enforce the rules of NSFW while participating in it. Brandon and Verum did find evidence. No shot,
they caught him fucking... Oh, Sitbox was the guy who was like cuddling up with that person and fucking moaning and shit. Lol. Dude, what? Dude, what? Okay, everything is starting to piece together now. Lol. So yeah, to be clear, it is against VRChat TOS to like ERP and like fucking, you know, have like fucking cocks on your avatars and shit. So it's very fucking funny that this guy is like over here like doing like moaning ERP bullshit in like fucking lobbies. Dude, what the fuck? Okay.
Of this. When they were on the Ripper store looking at Sitbox's Abby, they did find NSFW toggles.
Oh my god, it's a fucking lolly too. Jesus Christ, okay.
The avatar, and that avatar is a lolly. But it gets worse. They found evidence of Sitbox actually ERPing in that avatar.
Oh my god.
Already off to a bad start for Sitbox. It doesn't look good. Already, this is hard to talk about, seeing as this is already pretty...
Pedophile. Yep.
Disgusting. That is obviously a lolly, and they're doing stuff with, you know, other people. It's a weird gray zone for this kind of stuff.
Dude, what
because this is virtual reality, and I'm praying to God that those are other adults. It's in this weird in-between. I can't say for sure if they
are... Well, you're weird in-between to be, there is always the argument. It's like, well, if they imagine themselves as the lolly, it's like less pedophilic. It's just gross. It's like creepy, which like pedophilia is a sexual attraction to children. It says nothing about you personally identifying as a minor or some shit like sexualizing yourself, imagining yourself as a minor getting fucking raped or some shit like. It's definitely twisted and fucking red flaggy as fuck. Like, but like, are they definitionally a pedophile? I don't know. They probably don't fit it. But you're like, I don't know. I don't fucking trust you. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, yeah, you're a VRChat guy. You modeled this. Hold on. No. He is a pedophile. Okay, and here's my argument. You made this fucking avatar naked, modeled after a fucking lolly, a child. So you had to have sexualized a child, a minor. You have to have some kind of predilection there for you to fucking make something like this, right? and put like NSFW bullshit on it. Like, no. Okay, you're fucked in the head. Okay, nope, never mind. Pedophile.
Or not a predator. But without a doubt in my mind, Brandon and Verum are implying that they are a predator without any solid proof. Obviously, what they have on their avatar is absolutely disgusting, and they should have been removed from the team permanently. But it's also terrible to imply that somebody is a predator without any hard evidence. Something that a lot of people took away from this video is that Sitbox is a predator. Now, I wish I had screenshots.
Predators imply that there is a victim. If there is no victim, then he would just be a pedophile. That's probably...
That's to prove what I'm saying, but sadly, I don't have any. You can take that with a grain of salt. I do remember at one point somebody was impersonating Sitbox and saying all kinds of heinous shit, like they like kids and that they are a predator and other heinous shit. As of right now, I can't say for sure if Sitbox is actually a predator, so I'm going to say no. Mainly because there isn't enough evidence to prove that they are. However, there's always the future. For all I know, the next day somebody could put evidence out there that Sitbox is a predator. But no matter how you look at it, there are only two options for Sitbox. At best, Sitbox is somebody who is an absolute freak that should have lost their moderation job in the Discord. And obviously, at worst, they could be a predator. That is the worst. But obviously, I don't think they are as of right now, because of no evidence. Degenerate, without a doubt, but not a predator. However, I do have something from Sitbox that I found on Twitter. Apparently, Sitbox made a Google Doc responding to this video in his sections. Now, this Google Doc is sadly deleted, so I can't be for sure if it actually is him. And even if I wanted to prove it, his Twitter account actually got suspended and probably isn't coming back. So, yeah. But it's something. But do take it with a grain of salt, because for all I know, this could not actually be him. I'm just going to let the statement be on the screen for a little bit if you want to read it, but really, I don't know what to say at the end of the day. And to be fair, if this is from Sitbox, the statement does look really fucking shit.
Okay, what is this? What is this? I first want to address the fact that I previously engaged in ERP while using my Monica avatar. I'm not proud of this behavior, and it is one of my main reasons why I transitioned to my newer avatar, okay, which I may have seen more recently. My decision to engage in inappropriate behavior with my old avatar was primarily due to it being my main identity at the time. Okay, but it is modeled after an anime child, and you put fucking NSFW shit on it. So what the fuck does that say about you, sir? Regrettably, when I decided to create an NSFW version of my avatar, I used the same avatar base that I was known. Why? And you have a giant pool of avatars and bases to go after, and you chose the lolly. Okay, you sick fuck. This was my mistake. I'm deeply sorry. Back, I never personally viewed my avatar. Like, back then, I never personally viewed the avatar as useful. Where is it? Dude, come the fuck on. This is your fucking character. That's a fucking child. You fucking freak.
Screen for a little bit if you want to read it, but really, I don't know what to say at the end of the day. And to be fair,
I never saw. I love this giant fucking defense where it's just like, oh, I regret it. It's bad. I know. Blah 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 blah. Oh, but I never really saw it as a child. Fuck you. Kill yourself.
If this is from Sitbox, the statement does look really fucking shit. I gotta be honest. But hey, as of right now, in my opinion, they're not a predator, but be on the watch for them. And while we're here, I might as well tell you what happened to Sitbox and FPaul, since their story
Why can't I use my fucking guns?
Continues and will probably continue in the future. You see, when Disturbing World came out, they were actually removed from the Discord moderation team. But not too long after, they were reinstated onto the team, and VRChat released the statement you're seeing on screen right now. Now, personally speaking, I do think Sitbox and FPaul should have just been removed from the team permanently. The things that Sitbox and FPaul did outside of the Discord and before they joined the team should have been a red flag for the VRChat development team.
The boss.
But for some reason, they decided to still put them as Discord moderators. And also in the same statement, accusing Brandon and Verum of basically doxing and blackmailing to get that information is a really bad look. I personally think that Brandon nor Verum ever decided to dox or blackmail anyone during the documentary's creation. And maybe that lawsuit that Brandon was talking about that I talked about all the way back at the beginning might have been it, but I highly doubt it. Due to 1, I'm an idiot, 2, I'm deep into editing and don't want to go back, and 3, this person in Brandon's video only had a very, very small section in the video, and thus I forgot to even add them. So let me make this really quick. Nono is a VRChat community manager. Sweet and simple. But what did FPaul and Nono do to be a part of this video? If it isn't obvious, it's a lolicon again, because majority of the people in the video have some sort of lolicon thing. For Nono, it's a lot of
Jesus Christ, I'm glad that's fucking
and for FPaul, he made a lot of,
shrunken.
let's just say, disgusting jokes about Lolly in the Discord before he was on the team. I don't know why they added him, but they added him on the team anyways. As you already know, FPaul got the same treatment that Sitbox got. He was kicked off the moderation team for the Discord, then re-put into that position again. But for Nono, nothing really happened. It was only one little section, and then both Brandon and Varum decided to move on. There is a point to why they mention it, which I will get to when this section is near the end. But for now, let's keep soldiering on to the next person. Thankfully for this person, aka Foozle, I'm actually going to go on the side of Brandon, and I do have my reasoning. This video, in my own personal opinion, is very, very solid. Brandon focused on Foozle quite a lot, bringing a lot of receipts, interviewing some exes, talking about their ex-partner who is a criminal, talking about their ring camera crimes, and getting an interview with a minor who was friends with Foozle at the time. To specify, nothing sexual ever happened with this minor, but they did make a lot of weird comments towards this minor. Honestly, this video is really good in my personal opinion. This is something that should have been done with the others, but I will get to my criticism later on that. But overall, this video is really solid, and I'm not on the side of Foozle. Funnily enough, the same day that this video was released, the VRChat dev team was actually doing a live stream talking about, you know, updates and stuff. But they did give a response to all that was happening. Here, why don't you take a listen for yourself?
Okay, yeah, keep the questions flowing in. We'll have plenty of them. We do have a rather big announcement in an hour. One thing I will get out of the way, because I know that we have a lot of people that were in the chat probably trying to ask this question here. Hold on, how do I word this properly? We are aware of a video that got posted earlier today. From time to time, companies of our size receive allegations involving employees, and we take all these matters seriously. We've become aware of this video, like we know about it. We're reviewing the situation carefully in line with our standard process. Out of respect for those involved, we're not going to be sharing additional details here. So if you're here to ask questions about it, we're not going to be able to.
I mean, yeah, that's totally fair. If the video like literally dropped within the hours that they were live, okay, yeah, fair enough.
Answer them while that review is ongoing. I know a lot of people here are probably going to ask that question, so I wanted to get that out of the way first so you're not sitting here for an hour. So, yeah, that's all you're getting on that stuff there. But we do have other stuff to go through. Let's see here.
Now, I'll be fair to the VRChat dev team. This is a situation that is pretty dire. If what Brandon said about Foozle's position is true, this is more than just a simple ban and go. This is something they have to take time and probably hire somebody new for the job. And that's probably why we haven't heard anything about Foozle and their position still. We don't get the privilege of knowing that since none of us work for the company. So I'll be fair to the VRChat dev team, but I do think they should tell the community about Foozle's position if they're still hired or if they're fired now. I think personally it's important to tell. Well, if it isn't the punching bag of the community, Tupper. To be fair, I think he does deserve it, but not everything. But first, let's go over everything in this video that Tupper is being accused of. I'm gonna go over this first one very quickly. Brandon covers basically a nothing burger story. Basically, the story is something to do with him, Sitbox, and 4chan, and this underage person attending a party when, at the end of the day, nothing ever happened to this minor, and people who hate Tupper have been stretching the story in favor of the Sitbox and 4chan. And this underage person attending a party when, at the end of the day, nothing ever happened to this minor, and people who hate Tupper have been stretching the story in a very negative light towards him. However, apparently there was
this is tied to Tupper? No, if you're thinking tipster, no. But I guess, yeah, Tupper.
Alcohol in that vicinity around that minor, but nothing happened apparently. To be fair to Brandon, he did clarify that people were misconstruing the truth against Tupper. Now, the other thing that Tupper is being accused of from Brandon is that he's protecting Sitbox and doing favors for him to protect him. Now, originally, before a certain video came out, I didn't really believe it. I thought it was a bit of a stretch to say that Tupper was protecting Sitbox. However, recently, I'm more willing to believe it due to a video released by Milo Murphy. Now, this video goes over a different controversy that happened with a different YouTuber by the name of Parzival. I think you all know who they are by now.
That sounds familiar.
If you're in the VRChat community. In short, Milo Murphy went up to them saying happy birthday over and over again in alt accounts, which, Milo, if you're watching this, it's kind of cringe. Let's be honest, it's kind of cringe that you did that, but shit, it kind of helped me realize that Tupper might be a bigger liar than I already thought he was, which is good on you, buddy. Parzival, for some reason, called Ergbla a pedophile, and it...
LOL? What the fuck? Okay, Ergbla mentioned?
Accumulated on a live stream where they basically had a cope moment trying to deny this and say some stupid shit. God, but before the live stream, all of Milo Murphy's alt accounts got banned. But since Parzival has connections to the VRChat dev team, when his reports went in, they were instantly dealt with. Now, call me a conspiracy theorist, but since Parzival has connections to the developer team and most likely Tupper, that Tupper decided to help out Parzival's reports and ban all the alt accounts before doing anything else. Now, of course, there is no actual evidence towards that, but it's so weird and random. Of all things to ban, why all accounts? No offense to Milo, but he doesn't have that same reach that Parzival has, especially within the VRChat community. He is not infamous enough to keep tabs on. A lot of people don't know who he is, including myself, until I found this video. And 3, he's a bit of a troll. Although, to be fair to Milo, that content is still pretty big nowadays. But why would a developer go out of his or her way to ban alt accounts of Milo's caliber? It really does seem that the mod team has preferences to people in the community.
Well, yeah,
obviously, I can't say that 100% since there is no really solid
inherently
evidence of it,
they're going
but
to
I'm willing to
give
out
special
more.
treatment
Due
to
to
their
this
friends.
fact and Milo's video really helping out with this, I do think Tupper has favorites within the community, like I said before. So if something with evidence came out saying that Tupper, you know, helps out people that are his friends and then doesn't worry about anything else, I'd believe it for the most part. When Brendan had Tortle send the evidence of Sitbox's wrongdoings to Tupper, Tupper didn't really do anything about it. He even looked at the evidence in a Google Doc, showing Dead to Rights that he did look at the evidence, but didn't really do anything about it. I'm not sure what I can say on this other than Tupper should have done something relatively immediately, or at least something. Something is better than nothing, but I want to be fair to Tupper just a little bit. This is probably something that has to be talked over with the team. It couldn't be done immediately. Although, like I said before, Sitbox and FPaul were put back on the team not too long after they were removed. So, truthfully, I don't know what to say to that. But what I can criticize about Tupper is how they handled the Foozle situation. You see, an ex of Foozle reached out to Tupper to report him, and Tupper told them that they were doing an investigation, but nothing has come out of that investigation as far as we know. It really makes you wonder, is he protecting Foozle? Is he protecting Sitbox? These answers will never be cleared up until either Tupper or somebody on the team says something. Truthfully, this whole thing is up to you to make, because truthfully, I don't know what to say on if he's actually protecting them or not. And I will not poke that bear because I don't truly know what the truth is, and nobody will until something is said and done. And finally, something that I find very stupid that Tupper decided to do, but I can see the reasoning why. During 2022, Verum actually found Tupper in, I believe, a public lobby. And in this lobby, Tupper made the statement that he doesn't ban anyone and that nobody knows who bans who. Here, I'll let you listen to it.
Hi there.
How's it going?
Can I speak to you? Are you busy?
You're doing that right now. I hope. Unless I'm schizophrenic.
No. I meant there was a certain person you might have banned like 30 times. You might be familiar with him. I think it was you anyway.
I don't ban people, so.
You don't? My bad. People told me you did it. That's what I heard. Okay, so that's good to know. Alright.
Nobody knows who bans anyone. Anyone who tells you is wrong.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, this is some like random fucking like occurrence thing. Like Tupper has no obligation to tell you the truth in this situation. You're literally some random fucking person to him. Like maybe he just doesn't want to be bothered, so he's just gonna say whatever that'll end the conversation faster. So I mean, I don't. This is kind of like worthless.
I'll take note of that.
This is something really stupid to lie about, especially on March the 29th of 2024. The virtual reality show was actually doing an official live stream event with VRChat, and everything was going very well. But something bad happened. You see, an infamous trolling group by the name of Art Spam, which fun fact, a different YouTuber by the name of Haydenetic actually made a documentary on
Art Spam. Did you censor? You showed it earlier. Did you censor the word fart? They were called Fart Spam. That's what they called themselves, Fart Spam.
Fart Spam, and actually got their members to talk about the whole situation. The name of Hayden Edick actually made a documentary on Fart Spam and actually got their members to talk about the whole situation. I'll actually leave a video in the description. It's actually very interesting to hear their side of the story. But do keep in mind they're a little bit wild, to say the least. But there's some stuff to actually highlight from this video. Funnily enough, it actually wasn't them that put the Sitbox video on the video player to show everyone. That's what one of the members claims, at least.
I'll just want to highlight the Brandon FM shit. Fia did claim that you guys like sabotaged the media player by playing that Sitbox clip. You guys didn't do any of that, correct?
No, absolutely not. I don't even know who Sitbox was before this whole drama thing. I mean, obviously, don't get me wrong. If I did know who he was and I did have that video, then maybe I would have done it. But it wasn't us, unfortunately. I'm not gonna take credit for it if we didn't do it.
Hey, editor Hayden, pop up that thing stating that y'all don't take credit.
That thing, yeah, that one thing.
Yeah, that one screenshot.
Another statement made by this member of FartSpam actually claimed that they didn't get banned immediately while this was going on. They actually were banned a day after the event.
With Tupper actually being there in the instance, like that's actual like representation of VR chat staff. Did that trip you up?
Oh, I mean, we saw him there and we all kind of like shot ourselves a bit, but we all just kind of backed up and eventually he fucked off. I mean, none of us got banned really during the event, I don't think, off the top of my head. We all got banned like over a day after, so clearly Tupper being there wasn't really that big of a detriment to us. We just kind of went through and did it as we planned.
It wasn't really.
Wait, so where's the evidence that Tupper banned?
Yeah, no, didn't really bother us.
Now, obviously, this is a trolling group, so you can take their word with a grain of salt, but it's still interesting to highlight. Regardless of that, Tupper, in my opinion, did ban them, and to me, clearly lied through his teeth to Verum on that day of that conversation. But even without any of the—
Okay, so, well, there's no evidence. There's no evidence. It's like, especially, I mean, him having been there at the event, and them only being banned a day later, a day after the event, that's not evidence that it's fucking Tupper.
This evidence that I'm showing you, Tupper's going to tell me that he doesn't know who bans who and that he himself can't ban anyone himself. Tupper is the community manager of VRChat. He is basically the face of VRChat. He works for VRChat, but he doesn't know who bans who and that he can't ban anyone himself. To me, he is clearly lying, but I want to give some sympathy towards Tupper. Since Tupper is the community manager for VRChat and is basically the face of it,
all we have is that one clip where he says that he said that he can't ban anybody. He's probably fucking lying to Verum because he just wants him to fuck off, right? Like,
hate him. Like, hate him. In my whole time of playing games and being a part of communities and them having community managers, Tupper has got to be the most hated out of any. Like, I've never seen so much hate towards one person, but Tupper somehow manages to get hate
Speed it up a little bit.
If I had to be honest, it's really depressing how much hate he gets. And I'm sure all the time when people see him in public lobbies or just see him in general,
everyone always fucking complains about him, and he's probably criticizable to some extent, but he's not like a dangerous fucking predator person or whatever, so I don't give a shit.
All the time, can they ban this person? Can they ban that person? If I was in Tupper's position, I'd probably lie too, because you know how annoying that'd probably get after—
That's what I just said.
I do think Tupper is a liar, but I don't blame him for certain things like, you know, getting asked all the time to ban people. And do remember, he is just one person at the end of the day. Sure, he might have the whole team of VRChat behind him, but he is still one person, and I'm sure there's a lot of things that he has to do behind the scenes that we don't know about. I do think it's important to highlight that. He is still human. He's not a robot or anything. So no matter how much shit-talking I give Tupper, I can understand and sympathize with him a bit. There's still a lot of things to criticize him about, but I think you get the idea.
Okay.
This section is a bit more interesting. You see, Graham Gaylor and Jesse Judry, from what I can tell myself and from what Brandon could even tell, is that these guys are just normal dudes. Two people that wanted to make something unique like VRChat, and they did. It's a bit hard to talk about because I do feel a bit invasive of even talking about them in the first place. Mainly because I don't really see anything wrong they have done, at least to me.
These two men have destroyed hundreds of thousands of people's lives unintentionally.
Now, obviously, there is something that Brandon and Verum highlight, which is a SoundCloud recording that they did on a podcast.
Are you drawing the line at anything in terms of content, Jesse and Graham? Are you guys drawing it like, can I have my own sex dungeon room in VRChat and have all sorts of animal sex, you know, rabbit on horse?
Because it's a custom
peacock.
custom content platform, it's actually really difficult to prevent that. What we really want to do is we want to have a safe place for people to visit without really limiting people's freedoms also. What we'd like to have is good moderator controls and stuff like that. And if you're going to build something that...
They do regularly ban and like moderate fucking avatars, dude. Like they do. Okay, they even like wrongfully ban avatars too. Okay, I had without a doubt, unequivocally, a safer work avatar. Okay, it was a public avatar. There was nothing nude about it whatsoever. There's nothing. There was nothing. Literally nothing. And it got fucking banned for some reason.
That is, risque in any way, or
it wasn't even risque. It wasn't even risque.
We want to give you the ability to flag it. And so,
it was that fucking that goblin creature that I wore during that one time when fucking Dickers called me, dude.
Yeah, this isn't
that avatar
for
got banned.
Or to password your room so that only people you invite in can go. And we also want to give other users the ability to say, I don't want to see that stuff, and so I don't have to. But it's a user-generated platform, and people have been making that stuff as long as they've been building user-generated content. Right. So we couldn't stop it, but we just wanted to have a safe place for people to be too.
Now, I do think it is a weird statement, but I sort of understand
the
logic.
Really?
Kind of. Look, let's all be honest for a second. There are probably hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of weird people online that have weird things that they like or are completely degenerate. I think any game that allows you to create anything that your mind can imagine will always have something like this problem. However, that is not an excuse to have those creations be around kids, or even in a game like VR Chat. Hell, a perfect example of this problem is Roblox with condo games. I don't think I need to state the obvious, but if you see worlds that are like that cater to certain people that are...
But they also... This is the defense to VR Chat. They have to have people fucking report it. And people just sit there and they expect these things to just disappear without the community having to fucking do anything about it. It's like, when you see it, report it. Report it. You want VR Chat to be clean? You want VR Chat to be moderated? You have to be the change that you want to see in the fucking game. If you see two people ERPing in a fucking public lobby, they shouldn't be fucking doing that. Fucking report them. Okay? You gotta be a Janny. Okay? That's what I do, okay? When I see people doing fucking retarded shit or fucked shit, okay? Reported. Reported, bitch. You gotta be a fucking Janny.
Generate nature, I think you should report them and hopefully they'll get deleted
there you go.
VR
Boom,
Chat. They have no right to be on the game. I think them saying that everyone is allowed on VR Chat is a bit naive of them, but at the same time, they can't tell who everyone is going to be on the game. Being anonymous online is both a blessing and a curse depending on who it is, because nobody truly knows who the person behind the screen, or I guess in this case, the headset is. So I don't think Jesse or Graham really means everyone. I think it's a bit of a stretch to say that they're allowing anyone, because I'm sure they know that there are a lot of fucked up people online and they probably don't want that to be, a part of their game. But weird people find their ways. I think something that should also be considered when talking about this podcast clip is that this episode of this podcast is 10 years old. And when Brandon and Varum covered it, it was 8 years old. I think the age of that podcast episode should be considered. It's been multiple years since that statement was made on that podcast. And remember, people can change how they view certain things and their statements after multiple years. And I would like to have some hope that back then, VR Chat was a lot more safe and secure for people, and not what it is today. Again, I do think it's very naive.
If anything, VR Chat was way less secure. Way less secure back in the fucking day. Shit wasn't getting moderated whatsoever. People were having avatars. People were creating avatars that they had like some Unity fucking magic fuckery where like all they had to do was pull out a gun and point a laser at you and that would fry your fucking GPU. Like there was zero moderation. Okay. That was insanely fucking Wild West bullshittery in the past. Okay, VR Chat was a very different game. And plus, if that's true, that this was like 8 years ago or 10 years ago or not 10 years ago. They said like 8 years ago, about 8 years ago. That was before the Quest 2. When the Quest 2 came out, that fundamentally changed VR Chat. Fundamentally, there was a clear shift in the game's audience when the Quest 2 came out, because then the game started getting flooded with a bunch of fucking kids. Before that, there was hardly any fucking kids, right? I started playing the game when I was 17, okay? But even then, like very fucking rare. And I was a desktop user. But yeah, like, so I mean, maybe their vision changed, but it doesn't sound like they changed very much. But it's definitely way more moderated now than it was before.
Of them to think that people online could just moderate themselves. But hey, remember, this was multiple years ago.
But clearly not moderated enough, because you gotta ban that fucking what is his face? That sip. Ban the sip guy. That fucking weird fuck. Ban him.
Things have changed, although we have heard nothing really from them ever since.
Fire him.
Hey, that's my personal opinion. I think this is something more that people need to come to their own conclusion about, because it can go either way. Either you think that they're catering to people that are degenerate, or they're not and they were kind of just naive back then. It's pretty confusing to me, but hey, if you got something you want to say, leave it in the comments, I'll be looking. And then the rest for Graham and Jesse's section is basically business talk and something called Metcalfe's Law. Now, I can't really talk about that stuff, mainly because I personally don't understand it. And also, business can be a lot more complicated than it seems. For all we know, there could be something much more behind the scenes that we don't personally know. And business is something I'm not an expert on, so I'm not even going to touch it. But if anyone out there does know more about this stuff, maybe you can pitch in. This is something I'm not very educated on, so I'm going to leave it at that. And finally, with that done, we have talked about every single person in this video. Oh, and you're probably wondering why I didn't talk about Satch. That's because Satch sucked at his job, and he's not even on the team anymore. So, El Bozo, he sucked at his job. So, what is my conclusion on all of this? Whose side should you take? Who's right? Who's wrong? My personal opinion, everybody sucks in this situation. Let me explain. I know it's a bit crazy for me to say this,
You don't need to explain. It's obvious. It's obvious.
Jesus Christ, everyone just sucks in this situation. Let's go over the VRChat team first. No matter how you see it, no matter how much you want to like them, there's a lot of problems with the team. In my own personal opinion, looking over everything that I've gone over, I do think the VRChat team has a lot of lolly culture in it, which is not good. I still personally think lolicon can lead to pedophilia. So many people covered in the video were into lolicon, if not using an active lolly avatar. Tupper even likes some lolicon art on Twitter. The only people I can say for sure that aren't lolicons are the creators of VRChat. Mainly due because we don't really know anything about them. They've been offline for so long, which is also a problem. The creators of their game should be paying attention to their game. You know how much
I think, well, it sounds like they more or less like handed the game off to like a more active dev team, and they're kind of just taking royalties off of it.
Much better it'd probably be if the creators themselves looked at VRChat and probably did something about it, but we have heard nothing from them. Of course, like I said before, they're working for a company, so things are a lot more complicated behind the scenes, but still, that should not be an excuse for them to do jack shit. The clear lies and favoritism with certain members is also a bit of a problem. You're gonna tell me you're gonna give power to certain creators and people over the normal people in the community? You're playing favorites, which should get you kicked out of the team. When you're doing moderation work, you should never pick favorites. You should never have favorites. That causes a problem with people. That causes power problems. And also the lies. Holy shit, the lies. They have lied so many times over the years. But the biggest one is the reporting system. There are multiple problems with the reporting system. There are multiple predators running on the game. People that Brandon have covered are still around. Straybound is still around. There are things that they can do to fix this.
I mean, yeah, true. Like, I mean, it's always like a, I mean, what do you... For me, it's like usually when I watch some of these like VRChat predator catcher people, I do like put in a little report, right? I do send a fucking report to VRChat. They don't ever tell me when they ban somebody. That's the thing. They don't ever tell me when they ban somebody, but a lot of the times too, these people just create alternative accounts with under the same fucking username. Like they got banned before, but they're running under it's the same username. They just like made like they're still on the platform, but their previous account did get banned, right? But it's not going to be a fucking perfect system, right? And like it's hard to keep up with a lot of like moderation bullshit. I think they could always do more moderation. They could always maybe hire more people to moderate the platform. That's fine, I think. That's what the criticism should be. And it's not, he's more or less making that argument. He's more or less saying that.
Very simple things. I'll name two of them. IP banning and hardware banning. You know how easy that would probably be and how more safe VRChat would be if they implemented IP and hardware bans? I guarantee you, they start doing that, majority of the problems would not.
I don't even think you could do an IP ban. Because think about it, how does that work with Steam? How do you work that with Steam? Like, I've never seen people do people get IP banned on Steam? I've never seen that. I've seen people get VAC banned, but only for specific games, right? But they're still allowed to have a Steam account and go around and play other Steam games and shit. Like, can you IP ban?
Exist on VRChat, but for some reason they can't get it down. Even when they implemented 18+, there are still predators very rampant in the game. It is one of VRChat's biggest problems and biggest critiques. People have been complaining about this problem for years.
I mean, AI overview, Steam rarely issues IP bans, apparently.
And yet they have still done nothing to do anything to combat it. It is very frustrating to see the devs of a game that
Ergbla is hardware and IP banned? That's interesting.
I personally love do the bare minimum. It is very personally exhausting to go on any social media to look up anything related to VR chat just to see another Predator video. And the problem is, it deserves it. The devs have done jack shit to get anything done, to fix the problems. People have been talking about this for years, long before this video, long before Brandon's video. People have been covering this problem for so long, and yet the devs, for some reason, don't do anything about it. It truly feels that all the feedback that people have—
It's not that they do literally nothing about it, dude. I've been begging for, like, having some kind of 18+ verification system in the game for, like, literal fucking years, and I was so fucking goddamn happy when they finally fucking did it. I'm like, thank fucking God, dude. But it took them so fucking long to do that too, right? They are very, very fucking slow. They are very fucking slow, and they could be speeding it up a little bit. Okay, I won't lie, right? That is definitely criticizable.
Been giving them for years has been for nothing. Like, I don't know how else to say it. It feels like it's been for nothing. I don't want to be so Debbie Downer about it, but Jesus Christ, when they do this shit, it's so hard not to see and complain about it. I personally will forever love this game. It has brought me so many great friends, so many great opportunities, but holy shit, I do not like the dev team for the most part. Of course, there are good developers within the team, but oh my God, the bad ones outweigh the good ones. Now, does any of this mean that Brandon is the hero, the unsung hero, the detective of VR chat, the Batman of VR chat? No, not even close. There are so many problems I have with his coverage of any of these developers. The one that really grinds my gears and pisses me off the most is when he tries to allege anything against anyone, but he decides to pussyfoot around it. This clip from Flacefire resonates very well with how I feel about Brandon and his coverage. I'm just gonna play it for you so you can understand where I'm coming from.
So you have taken the time and compiled all of this evidence into one shitty Google Doc and are the driving force behind the Pyro is a pedophile movement. This is one of those times where you have to say, yes, he did it, or no, he didn't. There is no in between. You do not leave this shit up to public interpretation. The public is fucking stupid. You need to spell it out. Yes, he is a kitty diddler. Or no, he is not a kitty diddler, but he is in fact a furry degenerate. This is not one of those, guys, leave in the comments what you thought. Do you think Minecraft is better, or do you think Fortnite is more epic? Now you say as loud as you can, yes, he did it, no, he didn't. This is not a fucking gray area scale. This is pedo or not pedo.
There's no doubt in my mind that Brandon and by extension Farum are accusing, without saying it out loud, that the developers that are into Lolicon are predators. Again, I do believe Lolicon can—
Are they, hold up. The terminology is very important. Are they calling them predators or pedophiles, okay? Because there is a fucking difference, believe it or not, okay? Predator means that there's a victim. There has to be a victim for someone to be a predator. Someone can be a pedophile and not a predator, okay? So, are they accusing the people that are into Lolicon of being pedophiles? Because that's a safe bet. That's a safe bet. If you're into Lolicon and you're seeking out Lolicon, yeah, you're a fucking pedophile, dude. Like, the fuck? But are they like accusing them of being a predator? I would have to go see the video myself, dude. But yeah, no.
Lead into pedophilia. But the problem is, there is no evidence of them doing anything with children, but they are heavily implying it. You can tell how they're talking about them, that they are implying it without saying it out loud. Like Flay said, it's either, yes, they did it, or no, they didn't, but they're very degenerate. This is not something you can pussy—
Show a clip. Show a clip, dude. Show a clip. Show a clip of them doing that. That would go to demonstrate your point. I shouldn't have to take your word for it. The only person that was talking about that issue before actually came out with anything meaningful was me, by the way. Well, also me, dude. Okay. Let me see. Do I still have this video? I made a video like fucking like in like 2022 complaining about this fucking bullshit.
Foot around. To this day, there is no evidence of Sipbox, FPaul, No, any of the people that he has covered of doing anything inappropriate with children. Which does surprise me. These people are hated by the community after Brandon's video. By now, I feel like we should have heard something about them. But there's been nothing, other than people randomly just saying it out.
Yeah, 4 years ago. 4 fucking years ago, dude. I don't want to click. I don't want to hear my fucking scuffed ass fucking voice, dude. Back when I wasn't confident. I'm like speaking
out loud, which can be very dangerous. It can ruin people's careers. But the thing that really frustrates me about the coverage is that he could have done a way better job. How do I know this? Foozle. His video on Foozle was really good. By going into detail, by getting reports from exes, by doing so much on Foozle. He did so much that it convinced me that Foozle.
Well, I was just curious for my own sake. Like,
for the others like Sitbox, FPOL, and Nono, I can't be convinced due to how lacking the evidence is and how stretched out each section is. What I mean by this is simple. Sitbox's first section is near the beginning of the video. His second section takes so long to the point where I almost forget about the other part. The reminder isn't that great either. I feel like he should have just had it in one section and then moved on to the next. In one section, he talks about Sitbox's avatar having NSFW. The other section is him possibly being protected by Tupper. The same deal is for FPOL, except it's a little bit less than Sitbox because he makes really fucked up jokes about lollies. But that's it. There's nothing else. Same with No. He has some really weird fucking things on Twitter, but that's it. It's only one section. Hell, not even a section. There's only like a couple minutes of him talking about each of them. And then that's it. There's no more talking about FPOL or No for the rest of the video. Brandon could have done such a better job at covering each of the developers, but he didn't. If he did it for Foozle, I know he could have done it for Sitbox and the others, but I don't know why he didn't. I don't know why he made it so stretched out and kind of confusing to keep track of. I think he did a relatively good job covering Tupper, other than him saying that he cleared up allegations on Tupper and then just not mentioning them. It can leave a lot to the imagination of what those allegations were, but I'll let that slide. The creators of VRChat is a bit of a weird one. I see why Brandon mentioned them, but at the same time, that clip was 8 years old when he covered it and now 10. Are we really going to judge an 8-year-old clip and say that that is the current opinion of the creators? I think it's a bit of a stretch to think that. This last segment was mainly an opinion piece. Personally speaking, I just think all sides suck. One side is a bunch of liars with lolicon culture, and the other side is pussyfooting around allegations while trying to imply something more malicious. As hypocritical as this is going to sound, I can't decide what you think. The overall problem with the videos that Brand has made is that they're all confusing and very messy. I think I did my best trying to make everything clear, but even then, it's a little confusing still. But I tried my best. But at the end of the day, this is just my opinion. And with that, we are finally done with this messy chapter. Let us proceed to the final chapter before we end this video.
Small details, okay.
For this last chapter, there are still some things I want to highlight and show that didn't fit into the other chapters. You could say this is nitpicking. I think it's important to still highlight these issues. So let's begin with a study that was in the disturbing world of VRChat and why that data.
I showed people a lot of people how easy it is to encounter ERP content on game. It is so, dude, it used to be so much fucking worse. I think didn't like it was like sad or some shit like fucking. Dude, the one place I think Shangri-La is fucking banned now. Like that fucking place is gone. That place was around for way too long for how blunt it was about like yeah, it's like a sex dungeon, like yeah, or some shit. Like it's a bathhouse, yeah. It's an old a whatchamacallit, a Roman style bathhouse, if you will. You know. Jesus.
Might not be so correct, and why it isn't out to the public. A person by the name of Joseph S. did a public study on VRChat and its players, getting around 1,000 players to answer 78 questions. Now that does sound good, which it is. I think getting a study for VRChat could be good. My problem is that they're trying to lampoon this as majority of all players. They're trying to cast a net around the entire community, trying to say that, yeah, this is basically your entire player base.
Well, that's what a study does, dude. Okay, they take a sample size and they, you know, based on the sample size, they make a broad sort of like conclusion based off of what the sample is based off of, right? Like that's how studies. Obviously, you can't interview every single fucking person that plays VRChat regularly. Like that's not realistic, right? So you get a sample size to come up with a conclusion. Like that's fine. That's totally fair. Like, you know, but also like again, like you have to also know that, you know, a sample only tells you what people within like a sample, like a survey is only going to tell you what you're getting with the samples that you use, right? Realistically, like it's hard to make swathing claims about people and groups and shit using surveys. That's why you repeat studies too, you know, so you could get more of a degree of confidence with your assessments and whatnot, whatever the fuck.
Which is highly incorrect. And there is a bigger problem with this. They don't show every single answer, and the study was never released to the public. Out of 78 questions, only 14 were answered, 13 of them being negative and only 1 being positive. What happened to the rest of the questions? You have more data, show it with the public. Obviously, there will be more negative questions within the study, but without a doubt in my mind, there will be positive questions as well. The question is, why not release the study to the public? Was the study majority negatives, or was it a mix of both? We don't know because Joseph S. or Brandon or Verum have never released it to the public. I don't know why. This could be really good for people to study, and yet they have never released it yet. I don't know why why they haven't. There is a bit of a problem with this study, however, and I think a person who said it better than I did was Dara Fogg. So let me play you his clip.
This kind of goes back to the Brandon FM video. One of the biggest complaints that people had was towards Brandon's research that he brought up, where they questioned all types of people across VR chat, trying to see how people playing the game really are.
VR chat draws people in a special way that I would compare to drugs. It's an addiction at heart. People won't stop, they can't stop, they love it.
And they did this by hopping public worlds.
Every person interviewed throughout this process was sourced from the most popular VR chat worlds.
Joseph would world hop from lobby to lobby and ask people if they would like to partake in a survey.
From there, Joseph would
Well, that's how a survey, but wait, hold on. That's how a survey works. You interview random people, right? Like, and realistically, when you're trying to survey people within, within a video game, you're probably going to go to like the more popular, more frequented areas, okay? Like, is it reliable? It's not totally fucking reliable. You're not getting a conclusive, like, thing. Like a fundamentally conclusive thing, but that's all survey. A survey is not to come to a conclusion. If they're using the survey and they're coming to a solid conclusion based off of it, then no, that's wrong, right? A survey is just to get a general feel about how a large group of people feel and act about a certain thing, you know? A certain topic, you know? Like that is all that is going to tell you.
In a private world until all 78 questions were answered.
That way, Joseph would end up with the most diverse group of people to partake in the study.
I get it, guys. Publics are the first thing you come across in VR chat. It's where everyone makes their start. I've gotten so many comments about this when I say publics are not a good representation of all of VR chat.
That is also true. I will give him that. That is also true. The public, like, yeah, I wanted to get a good feel of the community of VR chat, so I went to the Black Cat. I just went to a bunch of Black Cat lobbies. Like, I don't know. That's not very reliable. It's not very reliable. The fucking, it's a very... Well, to be fair, Black Cat, you do get, like, a wide range of people, but I feel like it's mostly not regulars that play the Black Cat. Like, if you play VR chat regularly, you're probably frequenting different worlds than the fucking Black Cat. I would say something like the Great Pug. The Great Pug. The people, that's where all the elitists hang out. The elitists hang out in the Great Pug, okay? Like, go interview people in, like, the Great Pug or some shit, dude.
They say it is because that's the first interactions you get, but the numbers just don't add up. There's nearly 100,000 concurrent players on VR chat every day. Out of those 100,000, I don't think the few thousand you'll find in public Black Cats, murder, and furry hideout will be a good representation.
True.
My entire friends list is almost always in either a friends or group world, rarely a public. Is this a problem? Kind of, because this does leave the publics to fester into the types of places that attract negativity-based YouTubers to make videos on it, which drives even more people to leave the publics behind and go to friends worlds. But this means those in publics are simply a...
It's mostly isolated. Yeah. Dude, VR chat used to not be like that. It used to not be like that. I think there was always like friends lobbies, like private lobbies, but dude, old VR chat, you would never use that. You would never use that. You would always go to public lobbies and talk in public lobbies, right? It was way more of a social game back then.
Percentage of the player base, and any answers you get from that percentage cannot represent the whole.
Like I said before, I just think they're trying to generalize the entire community just to get their point across, which is not how you should go about things. The only thing I can say more is release the study. Come on, show us the data.
They should be doing that. They should be
What
doing
you're seeing
that.
on screen is the thread that I found on Twitter when making this video. This person that I'll be calling Anon from now on, and who I interviewed, talked about Brandon and Verim's information and how it could be incorrect. And the information they got from is actually a crazed person, a lolicon as well. Their name is Jelly. Not to jump scare anyone that I know that's named Jelly, but their name is Jelly. Funnily enough, Verim actually did respond to this thread, saying the thread is defunct because their personal problems are not of issue with the whole situation at hand. And before they actually talked to Jelly, they actually had valid evidence long before their brief encounter with them. What I'm going to do is go over every single question and answer that is important to this section. Not every single question and answer will be in this section, mainly because I think I'm just stretching out the time if I did that, so we're going to go over the more important ones. So let's get into it. Who is Jelly? Jelly is a known shit poster from several 4chan generals. He is chronically online and known throughout these social spaces as being very unstable and prone to nuclear level meltdowns, where he accuses people at random of being political figures, pedophiles, rapists, everything and anything.
Oh, dude, I was thinking for a minute, I'm like, wasn't Yandere Dev's victim named Jelly? Yeah, dude,
think he could say to cause harm to them. Part of what makes him, well, him is his infographics where he attempts to demonstrate his points. Here's an example on his old, now banned Twitter of your average Jelly comment. How did you find the connection from the video to Jelly's ramblings other than the screenshots? Was it word of mouth, DMs? Verum was asking a lot of people for interviews for his video. Got to me, and based on his questions he was asking, a lot of people—
I mean, VR chat is fine. Like, the way I go about it is I only play on the weekends, and I play to get drunk and dance around and socialize, and then that's it. That's literally it. Like, I'm able to enjoy the game that way. The game starts being a fucking slog and a shithole, okay, when you start getting into interpersonal bullshit, okay, with random fucks, right? And you start getting dragged into like found family bullshit, like that shit. When you get so caught up in the fucking weeds, that's when this game is fucking poison to you, okay? But if you're just like playing every now and then to have fun, dance around, and socialize normally, be normal, there's really no harm in it.
Figured out he was essentially just asking, is all this crazy shit Jelly says all over VRC true? So a couple people point blank asked him, was he talking to him? He confirms it. He's then warned, hey, that dude is a really bad source of info. He confirms he knows he's a bad source, and he says he won't use him. Then him and Brandon essentially just use him anyways. Then went on this long rant about a certain dev being a child molester, and then joke, oh, but it was from a bad source. Anyways, in like 5 seconds hoping people would gloss right over it. What evidence do you know was fabricated that Jelly gave Brandon and Verum? Pretty much everything on the devs was made up. They went needlessly hard on Sitbox also, and seeing those two double down on him kind of made it obvious where they're getting their info from. And then the last 2 sentences are about Team Beneficial, which we covered long ago. And for the final question that's relevant to the section in my eyes, what happened to Jelly and where are they now? And Anon simply answers, probably losing his mind and saying the N-word and the Grey Pug still. Now, before we continue on, please take everything you just heard with a grain of salt. I couldn't get hard evidence of Jelly basically giving them information.
Maybe he's one of the good
so
pedophiles.
I can't really guarantee that this is true. What I do know is that Verum does know of Jelly and has talked to them. How much they talked, I'm not sure, but they did talk before. So yes, Verum does know about Jelly, but there is no real hard evidence of him or Brandon using Jelly's info, at least in my opinion. Of course, Anon, if you're watching this, if you want to send me more information on Jelly and how they fabricated certain information in Brandon or Verum's videos, hit me up. But without a doubt in my mind, Jelly is a very mentally unwell person, so I highly recommend you stay away from this person if you run into them in a public world. I'm being serious, the screenshots you're seeing on screen are from him, so do try to get away from him if you see him in public lobbies. Big thanks to Anon, I appreciate you doing the interview. Let's move on.
Okay.
In the dark side of VR, Brandon goes over allegations on a Twitch streamer that he doesn't name. I think it's good that he didn't name the Twitch streamer, but at the same time, the potential of there being a Twitch streamer that is a possible predator is a big problem. I don't know why he brought this section up in the first place if he was never going to name—
He just straight up just randomly said like, oh, by the way, yeah, a famous VR chat Twitch streamer is also a pedophile, but I don't kiss and tell. What? Wait, what? Like, what? What do you mean? The fuck?
This person. Now, this is a me problem because ever since this allegation came out, I'm very curious to know who the Twitch streamer is. I have an idea on who it could be. However, obviously, I'm not going to say it out loud because I don't want to falsely accuse any streamer. It's a very weird thing. I don't know if Brandon should even mentioned it if they were never going to talk about this person.
Yeah, right? Like,
I don't know.
what the
That's
fuck?
Just me, though. Okay, let's make this quick. My stance on AI and NFTs. They both suck. Not all of AI, but majority of it. And NFTs are a fucking laughing stock. You got that? Good. Let's just make this quick. It's not really a big chapter, but it is something to highlight. Apparently, in his new video, Brandon is using AI-generated images. Now, I personally do think that these are AI. I don't know why Brandon would use AI.
It's what the fuck ever. Okay, he's not a like. It's so gay. It's so fucking gay to like care this fucking deep. Where it's like you're using an AI-generated asset or some fucking shit. Like, dude, I don't fucking care, man. What I care about is people using AI and like passing it off as real shit and lying about it. If you're AI generate me a thread and corkboard image. Do you care? Do you really care? Do you really care, or are you fucking being pretentious? Okay. You're being like fucking overly anal about this shit for like no fucking reason. Who cares?
In a video, he's very talented without the use of AI. He's done it before, so I don't know why he's using it now. I do think in the long run, if Brandon continues to use AI for his creative purposes, it could just dampen the entire thing, and it makes it really feel soulless. Like he didn't put any effort into it, but decided to let AI do it.
It's either Brandon gets like an AI fucking image of a threading corkboard or whatever the fuck, or he he gets a fucking PNG of it on fucking Google. Okay, is there more soul in that? There's more soul in getting like a PNG off of fucking Google than AI generating it. Is there really? Like,
job for him. Hell, it's actually worse than I thought. In this video, he's just using AI-generated videos. I don't.
Oh, for this, you could probably find some like B-roll party. Like I don't. Yeah, it's probably not necessary to AI generate.
I don't know why he's deciding to use it. He doesn't really need this. It's just it feels soulless. But to be fair, he's always been into this kind of stuff. You see, Brandon did release an NFT a long time ago, and funnily enough, it was originally shown in his first ever documentary on VRChat, The Secret World of VRChat. At the very end of the video, he shows off the Brandon FM VRChat NFT. Like, I don't want to laugh, but like it's kind of I kind of want to laugh. Like, come on. The point being is that he's always been into this kind of stuff: AI, NFTs, crypto. You get the idea. Now, why am I mentioning it? I think it's just a nitpick of mine, but this could also be used in the future to judge his content if he continues to use AI in the future, which I really hope he doesn't.
I don't.
To break the fourth wall just a tiny bit here, when I was making this video, I actually saw a different VRChat YouTuber by the name of fucking TFM Johnny. I don't like Johnny. I think a lot of Johnny's content, in my opinion, is just straight up cringe. Every time I look at his content, a little shiver goes down my spine whenever I look at his content.
I can't tell if you're a male or female.
I'm a guy.
TFM Johnny, trans female male.
What? I am a cisgendered man, excuse me.
But that's the internet for you. People can do whatever they want, as long as there's nothing illegal. And since Johnny's on the internet, he decided to go after Brandon FM. Now, I don't really care to cover that stuff. It's basically just a back and forth between Brandon and Johnny. They're both stubborn bastards.
Wait, what? What the fuck? Wait, so he's active enough to fucking argue with this complete shitter, but he's not gonna acknowledge Toastify's DM warning him about fucking... I forget his fucking name again. What is his name? Elusid?
So there really never was a resolve at the end. So
hold on, that's a little suspicious.
What does matter to me, however, is one of his collaborators going out of his way to DM Johnny over this. That being Verum. Now, I really wanted to save this criticism for Verum's own video. However, I kind of can't because one, how much this says about Brand's posse, and two, how fucking cringe this is. Dude, Verum, you're going out of your way to DM Johnny saying, "I'm not gonna lie to you. You should probably stop tweeting about this situation. You might not realize it right now, but you're going to get outnumbered. This is not a hill you should die on." Like, Verum, come on. You're trying to silence Johnny. I don't like.
Well, he's not. Well, not. No, I disagree. He's probably like that. It could maybe come off as like, oh, Verum is being Brandon's a little attack dog. Okay. Or it could be Brandon, or not Brandon. It could be fucking Verum being like, hey man, I have nothing against you. We're on good terms and shit. You're fighting a losing battle. Like it genuinely doesn't even matter if you're right or wrong. It's gonna be a losing battle. Like it's not worth it. The fight is not worth it, right? That's kind of it sounds like that's what he's saying. Wait, Toastify, what happened? Oh, this guy got into or not into contact, but like earlier in the video there was a section about how Brandon FM was working with Elusid. Is that I need to double check again, dude. Elusid. He was working with Elusid. Elusid is a well-known commentary pedophile predator guy. He was 19 and he was fucking around with a 14-year-old. There is no evidence that Brandon knew Elusid was a predator, but Toastify sent him a DM on Twitter warning him about it, and he apparently never opened the message.
Johnny either, but dude, you're going out of your way to try to silence him. This is the internet, for fuck's sake. I think anyone online can criticize and say whatever they want about somebody within reason. I need to make that clear. But dude, this is some internet tough guy stuff. Like, Jesus, dude, come on. But speaking about something that is not within reason is Ergblood's tweet on Johnny just saying that he's predatory without any evidence.
Ergblood does, yes. Ergblood does that. That is a Ergblood calling card. Is call someone a pedophile for disagreeing with their fucking opinion about shit. Fuck off. Stupid.
I get it. Johnny's content is very cringe, and it might be age playing. I don't really know for sure. It does look terrible. It's definitely a reason why I don't like Johnny, but dude, you were preemptively saying that somebody could be predatory without any evidence at all. Like, dude, just chill for a second. And it made me scratch my head a little. Is this something I'm going to have to deal with when this video comes out? Now, I want everyone to collectively come together and listen to what I'm about to say. I think no matter what position you have, whether you're a predator hunter, a musician...
I'm gonna say this. Ergblood's on the rape list. That is what I'll say. Ergblood is on the rape list, okay? You got some skeletons, buddy.
An artist, a gaming journalist, I don't know, any position, you are worthy of criticism, no matter what. Brandon is worthy of it, Verum is worthy of it, and I'm sure Urbla is also worthy of criticism as well. There seems to be a little bit of a problem when it comes to criticizing predator hunters though. Because of what they do, they seem to have this, basically, immunity to criticism.
True.
I think that is stupid. Anyone can fuck up and anyone can be criticized for their actions. And in this video, I think that's a perfect display of what I mean. This whole video has been me criticizing Brandon. And I really hope people don't go out of their way to just DM me saying that you probably shouldn't be doing this. Guys, I'm going to say this again. This is the internet. Anyone can make anything on anyone. Nobody needs permission to make something on anyone. Nobody is immune to criticism. I think it's quite stupid that people have this mindset in the first place. This isn't really about the creators having that mindset or even feeling like they can't be criticized due to their actions, but this is more like the fan base around them having that mindset that they cannot be criticized due to their actions. They're predator hunting. I personally think people need to drop that. It is an overall damaging thing to do to them and their content. And with that, we have finally reached the end of this chapter. I believe I've used every card I could use in this video, so I have one last chapter in mind. A conclusion to all of this, and some final words for Brandon, and some people that really need to hear some words. Okay. So, how can I conclude this whole video properly? I'm not sure what to say. And that's the sad part. I don't know if Brandon will ever change. This video might not even reach him, and even if it did, I don't know if he would even care.
I honestly think, I mean, despite all my criticisms of this video, he did make a lot of good points. He did make a lot of good points. I would say it's not a good video. I mean, it's an okay video. Yeah, you know what? It's not a good video. It's an okay video. Okay. I have some like minor criticisms here and there, obviously. But I mean, I think this guy's okay. This guy's fine.
I think I did my best trying to be as fair as I could to Brandon. I think I'm doing my best giving him chances to possibly debunk stuff I'm saying. But I don't know if he ever will, because I'm not sure about him. Nobody really knows who Brandon
He probably doesn't care. Like,
we don't know
to be
who
honest, he probably doesn't give a shit.
That's fine, but I do want him to acknowledge this video. I think if he said something about any of this, it could help. I don't want him to end up making the same mistakes that many people have done before. I'm in the personal belief that Brandon is an amazing creator. His storytelling is amazing. The visuals, editing, and video shots are beautiful, and the documentaries that he has made over the years are, to me, inspiring. They've made me want to make my own documentaries on VR chat, but just going through everything that I've seen today, it just makes it all sad. The reason why it's sad is because I don't know if Brandon ever cared about VR chat, a game that I love.
Yeah, he never cared.
Something that I have looked at and believed.
Brandon objectively comes off as a fucking tourist. He has no desire to know and understand the fucking community. He probably just sees this as a fucking content farm, right? Which, like, you know, fair enough. It is kind of, it deserves to have that reputation. Oh my fucking god, please don't be gay.
Everything, I question him now. I question his validity. I question what his real purpose in making these documentaries is really for. Justice or views? Is he really this detective? Is he really catching these predators and putting them in jail? Is he really doing everything he can? I don't know. And that's why it all sucks. I don't want to think Brandon is doing it just for the money. I don't want to think he's doing it for the views. I want to think he's doing it out of the goodness of his heart. I want to think he's trying to find a solution.
It's never that pure, bro. It's never that pure. Like, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with Brandon seeing VR chat as like just a content mill. But there seems to be some earnest attempt at like storytelling and whatnot. Like, I can see that. I can see he has a vision for that. So I mean, in that sense, he's not totally irredeemable, right? But there are some pressing criticisms as brought up in this video that should be addressed, and he probably isn't going to address them because, like, he has everything to lose by addressing those allegations, by addressing those criticisms.
To help people, but I don't know anymore. Throughout this video, I've mentioned here and there that Brandon will be making another video on the VRChat devs.
The crazy part about everything you watched today is this was just a small slice of a much larger investigation. An investigation I cannot talk about today, but an investigation you will all know about when the time is right. If you have, or know anyone who has information relating to the developers and the creators of this game, please send an email with your findings to the email address on the screen. We will be giving out cash rewards to anything that leads to factual information.
Jesus Christ, okay. Giving out cash rewards? I mean, that's a fucking smart idea. That's a smart idea. That actually will push people to actually, you know, come out with substantive stories and whatnot. It's just I've never heard of a creator doing that before.
videos. I have no problems with Brand making another video on the VRChat devs, but if anything is learned from this video today, I want him to do what he did with Foozle. I want him to go into detail with everything that he has. I don't want him to pussyfoot around his accusations. I want him to be clear about his intentions and why he's making this video. I want him to make a difference. This could either be a brand new start for VRChat or repeating the same mistakes that have been made before. And Brandon could potentially be making this.
I think there's too much failure with being that ambitious. Like, Brandon FM could truly change VRChat for the better. No, not likely. Okay, the change has to be with the community. If you want to see this game change, it has to be with the community, not a YouTuber. Okay, begging a YouTuber to change for the sake of benefiting the community is just not realistic, right? If you want VRChat to change for the better, you gotta strike it at the community, you know, like. And sure, Brandon could do that with a good video, but like, so could you, right? Like, so could you do that? You could just, you know, it's not totally hopeless, but you know, I don't know. Don't be so ambitious about
same mistakes that he did before. Schlep, Roblox's biggest predator hunter, actually commented on this video, saying eventually he's going to make a video on VRChat predators. And to that I say, I would love for him to do this. Going off script a bit, the only person to ever put pressure on VRChat was actually Brandon. But I personally don't think Brandon did a great job, at least when he first did it. When he did Foozle, I think he did an amazing job. And I'm really hoping that this next video that Brandon makes will put even more pressure on the devs, and is actually good pressure to make them improve. If Schlep got involved with this could be really, really good for VRChat. This game needs somebody like Schlep to put pressure on them. Somebody to me who clearly knows how to use pressure correctly on certain people with power. Roblox has been sweating bullets ever since his videos on them, and I'm really hoping that there will be improvements in the future. This game means way too much to me for it to die out like this. I don't want this game's ending to be like this, a place where predators get to thrive. So I'm really hoping Brandon's next video and Schlep's video will do something about this. But I want Brandon to have a heart to the players of this game. So many people on VRChat would rather see these guys behind bars forever than let them roam around the game. I want him to understand that it's not black and white, that the player base does not look at the predator problem and look away from it. People want change. People have been complaining about this issue for so long now, so I want him to understand that the community does not want this problem to continue. It wants it stomped out forever. Anyways, let's get to these letters and end this video once and for all. To the VRChat dev team, you guys need to focus and take action. There are so many problems within the team. Stuff that you're either negligent to or you don't know. Or, at worst, you do know but you don't care. VRChat should be something you guys cherish and care about. Yet I see a little to no action done by the main people. And I still see Sipbox, F. Paul Nono, and potentially Foozle still in power. After everything that they've been exposed for, regardless of them never doing anything predatory, they should have been kicked off the team long before they even got onto it. Your reporting system seems to just not be working, or you guys don't care enough to look at them. Apparently the reports you have been getting over the years from people that want to deal with these problems the proper way have been getting no results. But this problem can still be fixed. This isn't the end. You guys can still try to do IP banning, hardware banning. This could be your solution to fixing a problem that's been plaguing this game for years now. This is an issue you guys need to handle immediately. This is a bigger problem than you guys underestimated. And the roots of this problem go deeper than you imagine. Get your shit together and fix your game before it's too late. To the VRChat community. I've never seen a more passive community in my entire life. I've seen multiple people talk shit about Brandon, like they have evidence against him, that they have points to prove against him, yet I see nobody doing a single thing. Nobody making a thread, a video, or anything. If you see a problem that you want to point out that could help Brandon or anyone improve, make a video, do something, say something. Even if they go against your opinion, your video, whatever, you're at least putting in effort to do something. And you're not just sitting there with your thumb in your mouth. This doesn't even have to apply to Brandon. He's just an example because I'm doing it today. If you think you have good criticism of somebody, why not make a video on it? Why not say something? It is incredibly disappointing to see how passive this community has gotten, with apparently to me, very little people having the guts or the backbone to say their opinion online. I remember people on the game just saying their own opinion on certain people, but now people are just too scared to say anything due to a little criticism. Guys, every day you have the—
Well, here's the thing too. It's like, realistically, like you're saying, like, oh, people make a video about it. Not everybody has the time or patience to make a fucking YouTube video, okay? Like not everybody has that, okay? Like, I mean, I was making like fucking call outs of like problems with VRChat, like I said, like a fucking long ass time ago, back when like I was just figuring out how to fucking work DaVinci and shit. But you know, just because I'm the exception, that doesn't mean like most other people have the time or patience to do something like that. I mean, I think the angle of like getting content creators to talk about it, content creators within VRChat to talk about it, I think that's a good angle. I think pushing Brandon to do better and be better with his shit, I think that's a good angle. Yeah.
potential to get criticized, including myself. Don't let the potential of getting criticized ruin your opinions and your values. It is something that I find very weird that I even have to mention in the first place. But still, I do love the VRC community, and I hope this video is a lesson to try to do something more. To Brandon FM. Hello, Brandon. I hope this letter finds you well. This video is meant to help you in the future. This is coming from a fan of yours. A fan that's been watching you since the secret world of VR chat. I've been around since then and until now. I'm surprised no one has made a video on you before, but I wanted to try my best to be fair to you. In the future, I'm sure somebody would, and still will, but will be more unfair. So I want to do my best to be as fair as I could. You might think this video is irrelevant, or it should not have ever been made. And hey, maybe you're right. Maybe you fixed all this stuff behind the scenes. Maybe you talked to people behind the scenes without anyone knowing, but nobody knows that. The only person that does is you, that person, and probably your friend and collaborators. I think for the most part, you should drop the veil of being so mysterious. It's hard to understand where you're really coming from. Your actions are hidden behind a veil, and people don't like this veil. People online still have many questions for you, and yet I've heard nothing from you. This video today will hopefully get you to say something, anything at all. I really do hope that you do. The potential that you have is extraordinary, and I don't think you should waste it. Be good and trusting with the people, and the people will be good and trusting with you. I'd like to think the more that you do treat people well, it'll be like a domino effect. Maybe people will have something for you to investigate, something that can help you get to the devs more. I can't tell you what to do. This is just a letter after all, but the ball is in your court now, and I'm very interested to see what you do with the ball, so I'll be watching. I hope you can take this letter to heart. Sincerely, K3. P.S. Real recognizes real.
I mean, I would also say, whatchamacallit? Also, lol, fucking Umumusame. When I'm done with like fucking SEC shit, or like especially when I'm done with Deed and Silver, dude. Oh my fucking god, this shit is like actually so fucking soul consuming. But it's gonna be worth it, bro. It's gonna be worth it. When I'm done with that, I might shift to like VR chat. Fucking bullshit content.
This isn't a diss, by the way. I also like Umumusame.
How is there more of this fucking video? What do you mean? Okay, there's like an ending fucking ramble. I could skip that. Okay, video over. That was an okay video. That was okay. It was fine. I mean, there's plenty of fucking criticisms, being fucking gay at certain points, but you know. Overall, that was fine. Overall, fine. What the fuck is this? Okay. Well, I end stream and I get drunk now. Bye.